Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello. So welcome to TechBIZKON, Connecting Industries, Time to Scale Up. So I'm Ryusuke Komura from Venture Café Tokyo. I'm taking a part of moderator of this event today. And let me introduce myself, not myself, but about Venture Café a little bit. So speaking about Venture Café, we are the innovation community builder that originally comes from Boston, Massachusetts. And then, so Venture Café is basically, innovation community builder that aims to create innovation community that, anybody can join so that, you can get learn each other, get the precious connections. So, it's coming innovation community activities anyway. That's what we do. And Venture Café Tokyo is the first Asian branch of its expanding global network. And with that said, speaking about this event, so I'd like to, so I believe this is also a part of the innovation community building like ours. So I'd like to conduct this event in a very much casual and interactive manner as much as possible. All right, so maybe those of you who are watching this event right now online, on the internet, maybe you see now the chat window on your right-hand side. So please use that for communication during the event. All right. Okay, so let's get started. And then the first is opening remarks. So opening remarks we've made from three people from organizers. Ingmar Lockschmidt from Austrian Trade Commissioner for Japan, head of Advantage Austria Tokyo, and Lukas Sutaslovsky, Deputy Delegate of German Commerce and Industry, Chief Operating Officer at the German Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And then finally, and lastly, Pekka Laitinen, Commercial Consular, Embassy of Finland, Tokyo, Country Head of Business Finland, Tokyo. So please welcome.
Thank you, Rui. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here in Tokyo at Venture Café, at this great place here, and many of you, of course, online, wherever you are, here in Japan or in Europe. Welcome, everybody, to TechBIZKON IV. This is the fourth time we're organizing TechBIZKON together with partners, so it's not always the same partners, but yes, we have done it the fourth time together with our German partners, AHK, but this year the second time together also with Finland, and of course always we have Japanese startups here as well. That's a real great pleasure to see this event happening once again in this totally new format. I hope we will all have the possibility to vote today for the best startups. Those of you who are present here in your app, but also you who are following us over the internet. So we bring together startups from our 4 countries. And these 4 countries, of course, are real startup hubs. All our capitals in Europe, be it Berlin, be it Helsinki, be it Vienna, and of course Tokyo. But not only our capitals, it's also other cities in our countries that really offer great opportunities for the international startup community. So please use these opportunities. And with this, I would like to thank our sponsors. The sponsors from the Austrian side are Invest in Austria, that's the Austrian business agency. These are the people who will help you as especially as foreign companies, as startups or as established companies to set up business in Austria. Together with the Global Incubator Network, they are very much specialized in the startup community. Also our platinum sponsors, and then we have also one sponsor from Austria who I do not need to introduce, which is Red Bull, so that we all can fly during this event and with our new companies. With this, I would like to stop already and hand over to Lukas Sutaslovsky, my colleague from the German Chamber of Commerce and Industry here in Tokyo, and I think he will tell us something about the history of TechBIZKON and what it's all about here. Please, Lukas.
Dingo. Thank you very much. We also thank you very much, and also beforehand to Pekka, who will come later on the stage. Thank you very much. So as introduced, my name is Sutaslovsky. At the German Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I'm mostly in charge for service-related topics, and among others, we do also different events. And one of the most important events that we have created together with our colleagues from Austria, actually 4 years ago. So we are having now the fourth iteration of TechBIZKON, is this special startup event. Allow me to give you a quick idea what the startup event is about and what aims we were trying to reach when we set up this event. So as already Ingomar mentioned, we have very interesting startup hubs in our respective countries and industries, but the visibility among the different countries has not been that high. And it was our aim to say, okay, let's create something where we understand better the startup ecosystem of each of our industries, create something where we can connect not only startups, but also the respective startup ecosystem. And as we are, as organizations, focusing mostly on B2B related topics, it has been also a major aim for us to say our event should focus on B2B applications. So every year we look upon a specific topic of interest of the organizers, and we cooperate with a partner here in Japan. So this year, thank you very much to CSC Venture Café for being our partners in order to make also the Japanese startup ecosystem better known in the respective European countries that are participating today. For this year, as you know, the main topic is connected industries. When the last year we were thinking about the topic for this year, nobody was thinking of Corona. And it's really a coincidence that we are having a topic that somehow fits perfectly to what has happened actually this year. So everybody of you is now connected somehow more digitally than before. So we are now all connected people, and it's a logical step to say that connected industry fits to that also very much, because what would be industry also without the people beyond it? Also from my side, I would like to thank the co-organizers, which are CSC Venture Café, as I mentioned previously, also the EU Japan Center for Industrial Cooperation, and the German Center for Research and Innovation, who heavily supported us. And also from German side, we have a number of sponsors that made this possible. We have the German Accelerator that is supporting this event as well. So the German Accelerator supports actually German startups looking for business opportunities abroad. We have the BMW Startup Garage that supporting the event today as well. We have the city of Essen and the trade promotion of Essen, a city not far away from Düsseldorf, for those of you not so familiar with Germany, that's also here as well. And of course, thank you also very much for the German embassy in supporting this event with us. So far from my side, so I wish us all an interesting TechBIZKON IV this year, and would like to hand over to my colleague Pekka.
Thanks very much, Lucas. Thanks very much for Ingo. And thanks very much for Advantage Austria and German Chamber for inviting us for the second time to join this very interesting pitching competition. So my name is Pekka Laitinen. I'm the head of Business Finland, and Business Finland is trade and investment promotion agency of government of Finland, located in 40 locations around the world. But also in Finland, we are one of the biggest government-owned funding agencies in the Nordic countries, giving a lot of support, especially nowadays, for the companies that are connected with today's theme, connected industries. And of course, I would like to very much also thank our sponsor, Nokia. I think connected industries without Nokia wouldn't be where they are right now. So you will hear more about the latest developments in 5G in a panel. Have a pleasure to have the CTO of Nokia Japan participating in that part. And 5G is now coming with full force to Japan this year, and Nokia playing a key role there. But we are already looking for Finland for the next thing to come, which probably starts in 2030. And the first 6G projects have been started in the University of Oulu. And it's an open platform, so any of you who are interested in knowing and seeing how the world might look in 2030, please be in touch with us and we will connect you with University of Oulu. With these words, once again, thanks also to CIC to giving us an opportunity to use this fantastic location in the middle of Tokyo. Thanks for everybody coming off and online, and I wish you, all of us, a very exciting afternoon and evening today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I cannot be excited more. So the next up is the first panel. Following this, and then there will be a startup pitches. All right. So let me invite the moderator of the panel, first panel, Luca. Please welcome.
Should I be here maybe or here? Yes. Okay. Let's say here. Thank you for having me here today. It's great to see all friends and also all the people, of course, that are following us today online. My name is Lucas Coffier. I'm from the EU Japan Center for Industrial Cooperation, please. And I'm very happy today to be here with you and moderate today's first panel with the speakers, the panelists that you have here in front of me under my side, and Mr. Masugi Kaminaga. Very nice to meet you. Mr. Stefan Lutz, very nice to meet you. And Mr. Tatsuya Yanagibashi, very nice to meet you. So Tatsuya-san is the Chief Technology Officer of Japan for Nokia Solutions and Networks. And Stefan-san is the Head of Technology Office for BMW Group Japan. And Masugi-san is the Representative Director of Japan for AMS. Okay, so maybe for the audience, we want to break the ice, starting from Stefan-san with the first question about yourself, a very short self-introduction maybe, and also maybe you can tell us what are your company's main solution product in the connected industry area, most representative.
Yeah, so welcome. So I also have to say, konnichiwa, yoroshiku onegai shimasu. I am heading the technology office of BMW in Japan. So, and we are looking and scouting for new technologies and innovation in Japan, which we have a lot of very innovative and technology-driven country. So we have a lot of partners here as well. So that is the main target of our technology office here based in Tokyo and covering whole Japan. For our company, BMW, the connected industries, or as it also described in Germany as Industry 4.0, is a lot based on digitalization and artificial intelligence. We have four emerging drivers within our company on the manufacturing side, which is smart data analytics. It is also smart logistics. We just created our own logistics company, Idealworks, to support this also outside BMW. Again, then another one is innovative automation together with assistant systems, right? We have some very clever solutions there. And finally, also additive manufacturing, because we need to adapt to much more individualization and smaller size of production parts. These are our four main drivers for our manufacturing.
Thank you. Masugi-san.
Okay, first, I'm Masugi Kaminaga, Representative Director of AMS Japan. First, let me introduce my company, AMS. AMS is one of the fastest growing company of Europe with the CAGR 30%, which looks quite ambitious and interesting. And the reason of this fast growing is AMS is aligned to the smartphone sensor applications. That is a big driver. But recently, AMS started acquiring Osram, a legendary lighting company of Germany, and we will start integration soon. Then, together with the lamps and also sensor technology, we will be becoming one of the strongest optical solution company. And now we are trying to convert those technology for smartphone, phone, and others to industry like IoT and smartphone with advanced sensor. So that is a kind of the story we are having with this arena. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Tatsuya-san.
Yes, my name is Tatsuya Yanagibashi. I'm from Nokia, Japan. Actually, I recently took this the CTO positions. Before that, I was in Nokia Bell Labs, taking care of end-to-end network slicing standardization. And then I started this current job from July 1st this year. So, Nokia, as you know, is global connectivity infrastructure suppliers. But we have R&D office around the world, of course, including the sales office like Nokia Japan. And in this connected the industry, obviously Nokia is providing connectivity solutions to the communication service providers as well as enterprise customers as well. So I think actually people might wonder what the connectivity infrastructure actually means. So it means, of course, the base stations where your smartphone are actually connected to, and of course, mobile core software products and IP optical transport products, which actually constructs end-to-end real 5G systems. So Nokia has been doing this actually the solution business in Japan more than 10 years already. And we have quite a big customer footprint in Japan, like Docomo-san, KDDI-san, and SoftBank-san. We already made a commercial agreement for the 5G. But recently, we are also accelerating to develop our partner ecosystem with the manufacturing industry, like Toyota Production Engineering Company, Omron, and also Nippon Steel are a good example to be already partnered with. So I think this connectivity is integral part of the connected things, and we have a big ambition to play some big role there actually.
Thank you. Starting with the first question, going back to Stefan, IoT in production processes, smart factory digitalization, all very high level generalization of the changes that we're seeing in the manufacturing industry. If we have to find on a more detailed level, what would you say is the most disruptive technology or change that is happening nowadays?
Well, difficult question because there's many ongoing at the moment. So as I said at the beginning, digitalization and artificial intelligence is really a very big disruptive for this long-term production manufacturing society and our company as well, right? So that's going to be the very big disruptive here. Then another thing is additive manufacturing is something completely not new, but improving, and we haven't seen the end of it, right? Yeah, so going down for, let's say one part production, right? For a specific customer who wants specific option, for example, right? Yeah, so in the past, you try to combine and get efficiency by producing a big lot of parts, the same type of it. And nowadays you try to cut down, right? And even, go down maybe to a backing number one, right? Just like we just produce one part. So, and that's very, very difficult. We have 31 production sites all over the world, right? So, and you need to coordinate this and to keep them all updated, right? So this is very, very difficult, right? And very disruptive. But as I said, with the targets we have on these issues like additive manufacturing, also smart data analytics, losing a lot of artificial intelligence, right? These are the things we are taking on. We are already improving, right? We have a lot of improvements already done in this area, and it's still continuing. And of course, it's very interesting to be here, right? Because innovative automation, for example, is somehow in the genes of the European business, right? With robotics, for example, right? Yeah. So leading company here worldwide, and we're using a lot. And so that's very cool. And to be here and to investigate, to develop, and to look and search for new ideas and innovations to support this.
Thank you, Stefan. Masugi-san.
I see three trends in IoT or Industry 4.0. First one is AI, as Stefan mentioned, and the second one is a 5G connection, as Yanagi-san mentioned. But we also believe that a sensor is also quite important trend of this IoT. And okay, especially in my company, we are supplying advanced sensor using the latest technology like a 3D camera or a time of flight sensor and also LiDAR technologies. Those kind of technology are quite limited usage now, but will be expanded soon to all the factory and the other application, which potentially can change the world. That is I want to see on the future.
Yes, please.
Okay. From the connectivity infrastructure suppliers point of view, definitely one of potential disruption technology would be ultra reliable, low latency communications. I think, you know, so this can be used for not only just mobile broadband type of services, but also mission critical and the business critical applications at the factory. And you know, especially especially the new technology called timing sensitive communications. This is indeed kind of the disruption. So today, as you know, at the factory, so wireless communication has not been that much widely used. Due to lack of some robustness and stability. That's why wireline communication called industrial Ethernet has been used instead. But I think you know, that mobile communications and the whole ecosystem are aiming at replacing this wireline communication with 5G wireless technologies by leveraging this timing sensitive communications. So for example, so there's some use case called harmonized motion control. So as you can see at the factory, Biku factory, for example, I think more than 2 robots are trying to create things in harmonized manner. So this does indeed require very stringent synchronicity in application layer. And this is very, very challenging to the 5G and the wireless. But the 5G community is also trying to achieve this type of the communications by wireless. So eventually we are hoping to replace wireline communication at the factory with the 5G wireless. So this, I think, enables more you know, cable-free the factory, for example, which even allows more frequent production line configurations and also satisfying the requirement of the more personalized the productions. So this is exactly we are hoping some disruptions of the 5G can eventually help.
Thank you. Back to Stefan. In which, if you have to choose, what are the technology area? What is the technology area, technology areas in which you see connected industry, in which you see Germany, Austria, and Finland as particularly competitive at the global level, and why? Because maybe there is a very flourishing startup ecosystem, connections with academia. What is the secret recipe, if there is one?
Again, I don't think you can nail it down to only one, right? Yeah. So it depends on in which area and which technology you're looking into, right? So I just take, for example, the hydrogen new strategy just launched. This is a public-private partnership, right? Trying to improve this technology in Germany, for example, right? So then there is an ever-increasing startup ecosystem in Germany, right? With a lot of hubs now, right? Not only Berlin, but Munich also again. So this is also ever-growing at the moment. So that's also supporting this possibility of you know, innovative solutions for connected industries, right? So, and of course, then, I mean, we as a, let's say, international company, we need to look for competitiveness everywhere, right? So not only in Germany, right? We have plants all over the world. So it's important for us to compare each other and to see what can we learn and what can we find there. So from Germany side, I think it's from all areas, yeah. But of course, what you can see is a bit more advantage in this area. Maybe some other countries advance in this area. So there is not only one for everything, right? So, and there I can see that there is a large competitiveness as well as possibilities, right, to look into Germany, right, and also in a partnership with Japan.
Masugi-san, I don't know if you have a take on this.
First, okay, when we see the competitive of universities between Europe and Japan, basically they are equal. Yeah, Japanese university are very well known of the quality of its papers and its doctors and its achievements. And we also know that the high level technology of major companies, of manufacturers. Okay. And we also know that there are auto funding or grant to universities and also ventures, at least to start the research and creating new technologies. So if I can see one difference between Europe and Japan, that is how we can convert those fruit of the creation to actual businesses. So that, okay, when we see the case of, for example, cobot or a drone, Japan says that, okay, it should have a highest possibility to win and dominate those applications. But the reality is it's not. I mean, okay, maybe we need to think how we can make a success in the next mainstream.
Thank you. I don't know if you have also okay, well, maybe I can also add on something on this because that's what I do at the EU Japan Center. I run the Technology Transfer Help Desk, and this is a service that helps connect companies with academia and research institutions. And I can see that it's still really, really difficult sometimes to put in touch the technology, let's say, providers at very, very seed level with very large corporations like yourselves. And but I know that it's doable, and that's what I'm trying to do on a daily basis. Actually, yesterday we just had a webinar on EU-Japan collaborative innovation, and we showcased some of the cases in which medium-sized companies were working with large corporations between the EU and Japan. Maybe I can go back to you. IoT processes. I know how do you see Japan compared to European countries, and especially the countries that today are involved?
Yes, indeed, this is a very, I think, frequently asked questions. I also got the similar questions from the government, I think a few weeks ago. So basically, my personal perception would be, leveraging the ICT technologies in the factory is slightly behind advanced countries like United States and Germany, mostly. But I think recently the government also made some compromise of frequency administrations, allowing private use of wireless spectrum. That is actually called local 5G. But basically, this local 5G is the private wireless connectivity solutions, which allows the enterprise customers to use and build their own 5G networks and cellular systems without relying on communication service provider infrastructure. So eventually, of course, communication service provider is aiming at providing their connectivity service to enterprise customers by leveraging the new technology like network slicing. That is going to happen in 2020 and 2023. But in the meanwhile, this local 5G private wireless would be kind of the solutions where I think enterprise customer can actually build their connectivity with 5G technologies. I think this is very important aspect.
Thank you. Thank you. Masugi-san, I don't know if you have also a take on this, and especially how to compare maybe Japan's market with the European ones in this regard.
I don't have so quite a clear difference, but still anyway, challenge is, okay, how can connect advanced technology to the actual application? That is a competition in all over the world. So anyone who can start creating new applications and maybe new big stream of the industry will win. So, so still I'm waiting to see the the next one.
Thank you. I have a question that is maybe the last one, and it also is very interesting to me and for what I do. How important, I would say, we know that especially in Japan, basic research is mostly done inside large corporations, which is kind of a big difference compared to other countries. How is this different in your own company? How much will you say, if you can use a percentage, let's say very, very ample range of basic research, and how strong are the relationships with academia, with research institutions? How easy is for these kind of organizations to interact maybe with your companies? Stefan, maybe you want to start.
Yeah, I think the reason to be here with the technology office in Japan, right, is to enlarge and to intensify those exchanges, right? So from our side, we have many contacts with all major universities here. We have research projects with universities. We're doing proof of concepts, as we say, for example. So that is already a very large area, and we keep this going. This is a reason to be here. As stated, is like many patents already or innovations being declared here, right? On the other hand, also, we are open for smart and medium-sized enterprises, talking with them and exploring, right? Not only the big players in Japan, yeah, we have more than several dozens of big Japanese companies are suppliers already to BMW, right? But we are also looking here with the technology office to this possibility, how to enlarge our supplier network and with innovations and new technologies, right? I mean, as we saw here with sensors and 5G noted and so on, the big issue is the system integration of all of this, right? Yeah. So we have so many standalone solutions already, right? Yeah, but they may interfere in the plant with different uses of frequency bands of wireless sensors, for example. So you need all to integrate this, right? And that's a large issue where we try to support. And I am convinced that we have a lot of support here in Japan to do this. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefan.
Okay, first, AMS headquarters is located in Graz in Austria, which is very well known for the beautiful scenery, but also many good institutions and university, thanks to the Austrian government support. So first, okay, our company's roots is really based on academic. And if you think of Japan, okay, if there are any specific topics of the especially usage of advanced sensor or co-creation of a new application, at the top of Japan office, I'm quite happy to connect any of you to directly to the headquarters of Austria to think of the future possibility.
That's great to know. So I will definitely send you an email with some ideas.
Okay. So actually, the Nokia, we must admit that our basic R&D is not really located in Tokyo, unfortunately. So basically, we are selling the product what has been already developed somewhere, right? So that's the reason why so far there isn't that much real collaborations with Japanese academic so far. But on the other hand, so the cellular itself is getting very open now. So there are huge pressure from other industries where 5G system will be more open. So interface will be open, and some part of the applications will be also open to third parties, where third party can play some role in operators 5G networks, for example. There must be, I think, huge opportunities where we actually collaborate with the small startup companies, or sometimes even academic, the industry to develop something kind of the new applications eventually used in operation networks. So that's the things I think we can collaborate in the future.
Okay, and let's say, so for example, if I have some universities that are interested in collaborating, okay, I can be in touch with you.
Yes, absolutely.
That's good. That's good to know.
Yes.
That's good to know. I think we are probably perfectly on time for the handing over the mic to, unless there is a question, pressing question from the audience. No, it seems there is not. Okay, so I would thank you. I would thank a lot our panelists for today. Thank you for being with us. I really learned a lot, and I think everybody learned a lot.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for insightful panel discussion. So the next is actually long-awaiting startup pitches session starting. But before that, as I said, we would like to conduct this event, interactively, as much as possible. So there will be an explanation on the voting system. So this can be done through online. So be ready for that. So Juan, I'll pass it over to you. So please explain about the voting system, please.
Thank you very much. So everyone, I want to introduce you in how to control, how to vote for the pitches. So please, everyone who is at the venue, take out your smartphone first. And I would like you to open your camera or your QR code reader to read that, or the QR code that's on your name card, on your name tag that we have distributed earlier. Have everyone done that? Are you done with it? If you're okay with it, then I'll go on to the next slide. So this is the slide for our participants who join us from B2 Match. That means you're joining from another country or simply online. So on your screen, you can see on your right side, there's a voting. The square is for the voting. You can see Q&A and polls. And here are the questions. You can see this on your screen. And for a smartphone user, you can slide your phone up and down to see all questions. And for our users who are using online with your PC, please slide the small bar inner side so you can see all questions. And now I would like to introduce you how to vote. So basically we have 12 questions, 12 pitches. And for each pitch, we have 4 questions. So that's a total of 48 questions. And when you vote, click on the stars to give your ratings. And please slide the bar or roll down to answer all 4 questions. And in the end, when you're finished with it, please press send to submit your ratings. And each poll will be closed shortly after the pitch is over. So please make sure that you already vote for the pitch before it ends. So it's around 8 minutes. Correction is still possible after you submit it, but it's also only within the time of the whole pitch. After one pitch is over, you cannot change your answer anymore. Please pay attention to that. Thank you very much. That's all about the explanation.
All right. Thank you very much. Clear guidance. I think that's super perfect, clear, crystal clear. All right. So the next step is a pitching sessions. So for the next 50 minutes, 6 startups will pitch out of 12. All right. And then, so speaking to you, those like speakers, presenters, we are very rigid about time. So when it comes to 7 minutes. When 7 minutes passes, I would say, final sentence, please. So please finish it. All right. So please be sure that you're gonna finish your pitch, within the time. And then also speaking to you, people here, and then people on the internet, online, please make a comment or questions if you will, on the chat window if you're participating from online. And then please like think about comments or questions. Like at the end of every pitch, we have about 1 minute of question Q&A time. So please be ready for that. All right, so let's get started. So the first app is Wake.ai from Finland, and then the presenter will be Sami Kasunen. Are you ready?
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. Okay, it seems like we are ready. So please start anytime you're ready.
All right, and the presentation is ready. Okay, so let's start. So my name is Sami Kaksonen, and I'm representing the company called Awake AI. We are a software company that is helping in transitioning to sustainable intelligent maritime logistics through digitalization. With better use of data, we can reduce the ship turnaround times and help IMO in reaching their emission and reducing the reduction targets. We are a rapidly growing startup coming from Finland that has been growing from 0 to 30% in just 18 months. Awake is the home for the best software talent in the maritime industry, and we have a proven track record in building platforms and smart port and autonomous ship systems already by our founders and the core team that we have. Our team also includes industry-leading AI and cybersecurity and software development capabilities. What we do is we are breaking the silos in the maritime logistics and connecting the relevant actors to use the data platform for collaboration with other actors and increasing each party's operational efficiencies. Today, most of the actors involved with the maritime logistics is optimizing their businesses using the data that they collect and use from within their organization. But we help them to do better decision-making with augmented data and run their businesses more efficiently using the data and AI-powered insights coming from our platform. More technical view on our platform is that we have it's hosted in Amazon, and it's built using the best practices and of microservices architecture design and security by design principle. We collect the data from various sources and establish situational understanding of the port calls and provide added value using AI models. And this processed data can then be shared efficiently in real time for all stakeholders either through our API layer or the dedicated applications built on top of the platform, which can be built by us or then third parties. And while we are able to connect all of these different parties and use the data, we can really optimize the system. And this from the ground up, we are not building this platform to be our use. We are building a vibrant ecosystem around it, including various research organizations and companies who share our vision about the intelligent and sustainable maritime logistics. And we have been positively surprised how many innovative and forward-thinking companies already have joined our ecosystem and are working us in creating something big together. Moving to the application layer and solutions that we have built on top of this, our digital platform. Introducing you is the Smart Port as a Service application, which is a all-in-one application for powering your port calls. And it is intended for sharing the situational understanding, and it includes a unique communication tool that brings all the actors together to interactively share the data and discuss relevant disruptions happening in the port calls. We provide this solution or application either as a desktop version, or then it's available also in Google Play and Apple Store to be used by the mobile devices and tablets. And in addition to the situational awareness and the communication tools, we are building on top of it professional tools and applications to help the professionals make better decisions and drive their operations into a more efficient manner. Bird Planner, for example, is a collaborative tool for optimizing the bird planning and typically used by the traffic managers. And for example, task and resource management is a powerful complementary service that can be augmenting the existing terminal operating solutions. And it is a powerful decision-making tool to optimize terminal operations happening at the port and help in reducing the turnaround times of the vessels. In addition to the offering, we have from the software side that we offer in subscription model, so subscription as a service. We also do services, and we offer our expertise to be used by the industry actors. AI is, of course, a big part of what we do, and we find this is something that gives us the competitive advantage. And with our skills that we have been able to develop a industry-leading ETA prediction, for example, the most accurate ones in the markets, and we can train our machine learning models and build customer-specific predictions and models to be used by our customers. It might be estimating the times for departure or arrival of the ship, estimating completion time of the operations, when the containers are ready for pickup at the cargo, and all the data and timestamps needed, enabling this just-in-time planning and more efficient operations. Another use case that we typically bump into is automating the reporting and inventory of the yard using the computer vision. And this is an example of import port in Finland, where we have automated the collection of the data and reporting, and we can then render and plot these images on the digital twin and on the application that we share through the mobile application as well, so through the smart port as a service. In some cases, vision is not enough, but we need to have a LiDAR screening for object at the yard. Maybe this is more suitable for the bulk cargo, for example. And all this is augmented with our data in the platform. We have a better situational understanding of what's happening in the port. Finally, also want to mention that we are already working with the industry leaders in Europe, and we are part of a digital twin project with Port of Rotterdam, where we are building the communication layer to help them build the smartest port in the world. And now we are ready to move into Asia and hoping to find similar collaboration opportunities in Japan. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so now we have a Q&A time. Any questions, Daniel, on B2Match? Meanwhile, like the next presenter, please be ready. Okay, any question here?
The question was, do you have clients outside Finland?
Yes, we do. Like I mentioned that we have a Port of Rotterdam already. So we are working with numerous companies in Europe. We are also working in Pacific already. In New Zealand, for example, engaged with companies from Australia as well, and Southern America. So yes, we are not only working in Finland.
All right, sounds good. Okay. I think
right, thank you.
Thank you very much. So the next up is Pre-Wave from Austria, Harald Nischinger. I'll pass over to you. Please start whenever you're ready.
Hi, welcome. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. Then welcome and good evening to Japan. My name is Harald Nischinger and I'm the co-founder of Pre-Wave. And at Pre-Wave, we use artificial intelligence to predict supply chain risks for our clients. Our clients at Pre-Wave are mostly large manufacturing companies in the automotive industry or electronics industry. And especially with just-in-time production, a single component that is delivered too late or in the wrong sequence can have serious consequences. In the worst case, it can lead to the standstill of the entire production line, which can cost up to $100,000 per minute. And the causes for such disruptions, they can come from all around the world, affecting your supply chain. a labor strike at an Indonesian supplier. Here we have an example where a Toyota supplier was affected by a labor strike. But it could also be even a cyber attack, or of course a natural disaster like an earthquake or a tsunami. And more recently, also coronavirus related risks like infections of employees at suppliers, leading to the shutdown of the entire factory, or oftentimes, as we've seen now, shutdowns of entire countries or regions. Now, these are risks that are affecting supply chains globally. And for many of our clients, and what they really have in common, and you can see some of them below here, companies like Porsche and Volkswagen, Kercher, also Nike, they have incredibly complex supply chains with oftentimes thousands of suppliers spread all around the world in 70 or even more than 100 countries, speaking more than 50 languages. And for them, it is almost impossible to keep track of all of those risks that are happening on a daily basis across the whole global supply chain. But the data is out there because we as humans, we produce more data than ever before. And the social media penetration and usage rates, they are above 50% anywhere in the world right now. And this is where Prewave comes in. Because at Prewave, we use machine learning to analyze social media and news media data in more than 50 languages in order to predict supply chain and sustainability risks that affect the supply chains of our clients. Now, let me give you an example. On the 4th of December 2017, there was a national port worker strike in Indonesia. And we predicted this strike more than 2 weeks in advance as part of our ongoing project with DHL. On the 17th of November, so more than 2 weeks in advance, we sent the first risk alert to DHL based on social media activity in Indonesian language, where we pick up on strike threats of port workers. Then on the 30th of November, so 5 days before the strike happened, we sent an update, this time predicting that the strike will happen on the 4th of December, based on increased activity in social media and news media. Then on the 4th of December, the ports actually closed, the workers are on strike, dozens of seaports were closed in Indonesia. And up until this point, there is not a single English language news post about this incident. And that is why we were the only ones that were alerting our customer at that point about this risk. Now, even beyond just labor strikes, we are actually covering more than 60 risk categories at Prewave. The top row here are the ones that we have already prediction models. These are especially social risks. Things like labor strike, labor unrest, political unrest, but also financial stress and legal stress, where we are focusing on early warning indicators for financial problems at suppliers. So this could be employees of that supplier complaining about unpaid wages in the social media, or layoffs happening at that supplier. And in the bottom row here, we have incidents that we cannot predict, but that we can detect in real time and alert our customers in real time. So these are things like industrial accidents, factory fires, CSR incidents, which is pollution or chemical spills and unethical labor conditions, child labor. And then obviously we also cover natural disasters, where we are integrating feeds from the USGS and others to have real-time weather and natural disaster risks, and also cyber risks. And at the beginning of this year, due to the high demand and the problems the COVID pandemic was causing for supply chains, we expanded our models and added coverage for specific coronavirus risks to our models. And we can do this within a few weeks. That we are now providing corona coverage since the end of January to our customers. Just 2 weeks ago, we had a very interesting case study where the Shanghai International Airport shut down suddenly because there was an employee infection of a cargo worker at the international airport in Shanghai. And they put the whole airport into quarantine for mass testing. And we were actually alerting our customers 36 hours in advance about this airport shutdown, because we picked up already on the first news on the infection at the airport and then followed the event along. And therefore we provided early warnings for that. Now, in addition to just the alerts that we provide, we have also released what we call coronavirus disruption map, which is a global map of more than 40,000 suppliers that we are visualizing in a traffic light system from green to red based on their current operational status. So are they producing or are they currently shut down? And this is actually an interactive system where the suppliers come on board and the suppliers start managing their status. And many of our customers, like Kercha, for instance, are actively using this with all of their suppliers, so that the suppliers post regular updates on their current operational status. On this map, we also show the current infection rates on a province level around the world. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. If you're interested, please head over to our website, prewave.ai, where you can download additional case studies. And yeah, looking forward to your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Harald. So it's Q&A time. And meanwhile, please be ready. The next page is Vox. All right. So yes, any questions? Daniel on B2 Match.
First one. Really impressive. Your predictions, example, strike in Indonesia. How many false positives do you get, however? Or do you focus on supplying the info to the client so that he tries to make it a false positive?
Yes, a very good question. So just focusing on the prediction part, we have a, it's not really a false positive, but we have a prediction rate of 50%. So 50% of the incidents that we predict actually materialize. But those 50% that don't materialize, oftentimes it's because a strike is announced, but then it's resolved in the meantime and it doesn't happen. So the cases where we are really making false predictions are very small. And even if you just take the prediction out of the picture, the use case for many of our clients, large automotive companies, prediction is of course very nice, but even the real-time detection globally in 50 languages for all of their suppliers already gives them so much information that they do not receive in any other way, that the prediction is just the icing on the cake, but it's the real use case is just getting this information about my suppliers in one single spot.
All right, thank you very much. Excellent. So let me just remind one thing of one thing. So please vote. Maybe right now it's the previous pitch is it's open for the previous pitch. All right. Okay, so please vote. Don't forget, and then don't forget to vote for the next pitch as well. Okay. All right. So let's get started for the next one. So I'll pass it over to you, Vox from Japan, and Mr. Yoichiro Hara, please.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Yoichiro from Vox Japan. We provide a smart container for last mile delivery and parcel placed commerce. So what we do is design the mobility for goods and services. So pre-pandemic, the mobility is designed for customers. The customers visits their goods and things provides. But after the post-pandemic, the mobility should be designed for providers. So our approach is delivery is not option anymore. So we provide the delivery native style. But at the last mile delivery logistics, there is too many hassles to access packages. So simplified solution is package drop. But in the US, the port policy is a big problem, and almost more than 70% of the US citizens experienced the theft attack. So we should find another alternative, any solution. So we have so many options: local pickup, home delivery, locker, or in-home delivery, or delivery robots. And most of the delivery is operated by paper shipping box. It causes the unscalable, unsustainable, and unpredictable operation because it's disposable. The market of the paper shipping was super gigantic, so our aim is to disrupt paper shipping box industries. So approach is containerization of the last mile logistics. We provide container. It can be shipped from warehouse directly to your doorstep. It allows a sync, secure, and contactless delivery operation. And for providers, it allows smart picking and tracking and returning. So as a result, it makes more faster and more safer and then cheaper, because in the 3 to 5 years long run, compared with disposable paper shipping box, it allows 50% cost down. So behind this solution, our technology can be applied to the smartphone authentication. The smartphone can control, unlock the container, and then track everything on the cloud. So the container doesn't require any network wiring and then electricity wiring, because it can work with only the battery inside. So business model is to provide a container, providing container as a service, can be used as a subscription style or pay as you go. So the market is paper shipping box industry, and our first target is Japanese market and also US and European countries. So it can be applied for B2B market and also B2C channel, and it makes more faster, smooth, and secure. In Japan, basically, we have traction with the pilot customer, and the pilot pipelines is in US and then several companies in Europe now. So the one is the German giant is DHL, and also SAP, because we recently accepted by SAP's acceleration program. The first application of box container is quick commerce. So you have to select which service and then vehicle and then what kind of the interface you hope to deliver the product. So in Japan, with Sumitomo Corporation, we are conducting pilot project for prescription delivery into the customer visiting scooter and the packed inside a smart container. And also for keeping their managing their hygiene, you can, if you pack the ice pack, and then also we can track the inside the temperature and how many hours it's packed inside, so it can keep managing the risk of the hygiene. And also you can imagine if you put some items inside and put a lock, and you can apply this container as a store, so means the place to commerce. As a box store, we can provide this most simple, minimized micro store style. It doesn't require any RFID and no camera detection, because it's super minimized and just a lock is integrated. And then we can track all the transaction. You can make the select the item and then make payment. Then you can get the access permission to open the container. So far, we've been selected by several acceleration programs, especially for hardware, and also last winter, we've selected by Jin's Gold Share program, and by participating in the program, we've got the chance to talk with several European companies, especially in Germany and in Austria, and in UK supermarkets has showing interested. So our aim, we hope to explore the chance to collaborate with European companies, especially in Germany and Austria and in Finland, for implementing quick commerce and then place commerce for more, it makes more better customer experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So Q&A, any questions on B2Match, Daniel?
Yes, we have questions. I will only pick one, sorry. What's the subscription price and pay-as-you-go pricing for your container box currently?
Yes, we're planning €5, maybe €5 per month, basically, and plus 50 cents per each transaction. So we are streaming monthly basis €10 per each smart container.
Okay, thank you. And because the answer was really short, I asked a second one. How heavy is the box, and does the consumer need to return the box somewhere?
Yes, we're planning to do the shipping from warehouse to directly to the customer's house. And the next time of the purchase, if you do some e-commerce order, then the new container will come to your doorstep and swap it with the old one after you picking up. So you doesn't have to need to do the for collection delivery, because the delivery provider do their swapping with an old one. So no additional delivery operation is required.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Isabel. So next up is Wingcopter from Germany. Isabel Arens, please start whenever you're ready. Can you hear?
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we see your screen right now. Yes.
Perfect, perfect. Thanks a lot for the invitation first, and also for the German Accelerator program to transfer me to you and to this event. Hello from Germany to Japan. My name is Isabel Ahrens, and I will be representing Wingcopter today. And we are a company from Germany which wants to deliver the future. And this is why we are here as well. So what is the urgent need we saw? We saw that, or we see that many companies and organizations struggle to transport urgently needed supplies to their final destinations due to congestion and challenging terrain. And this causes delays in delivery and high costs. Yeah, and what is our solution and how can we solve it? Actually, we are a drone manufacturer and operator who can deliver with our drones and reduce waiting time from hours to minutes in accessing supplies. Our vision is to create efficient and sustainable drone solutions to improve and save lives. And this is what we do all over the all over the globe, which I will show you on the next slide. Though, once again, what we do is we manufacture, but also operate vertical takeoff and landing delivery drones that operate autonomously beyond visual line of sight. Yeah, this is a little bit about our traction and what we have accomplished so far globally. You can see as well that we had a project already with Japan, and there will be a big announcement next year about a further partnership with a Japanese company. So just visit our website in 2021 and you will find out more about it. Maybe to let you know quickly, we are mainly coming like in our origins from the medical side, also still doing the medical delivery to rural areas, supporting as well with the COVID-19 vaccination program. And this is what we have mainly done in the beginning in African countries, as of, for example, Malawi. Yeah, there are a few more success stories. So our drone is capable of flying for different reasons, though we are kind of specializing on the delivery field. What you can see here is as well that we do power line inspection, the vaccine delivery, that we do intersite deliveries. And also in Scotland, we had a project where we did the COVID response. Yeah, so what I already mentioned is that we are operating a vertical takeoff and landing drone. And this is what you see exactly here. So we start vertically and then fly forward very, very fast like a plane. And this is also one of the core strengths of our technology, because this way of flying is very efficient. And this way we can on one side hover, but also fly very long ranges and fast. So a bit more about it. Our drone operates with low noise and it's the fastest in the world. We hold the Guinness World Speed Record of 240 km/h. It's also very well in operating in harsh weather conditions, though also very strong storm is not, let's say, applicable. Yeah, we are unmatched in range, speed, and payload, what I mentioned already, and maybe you can quickly grasp that that we can deliver 6 kilograms, for example, for 45 in a 45 kilometer range, and 2 kilograms for 100 kilometers. So just to get a feeling about how long the range is and where you would be able to fly with this drone. Yeah, our types of delivery, which we are focusing on, are medical, food, and parcel delivery. And now I want to let you know a little bit more about our history. These are our two founders, Tom and Jonathan. They established the company in 2017, and we grow in those 3 years to more than 100 employees. And we started a factory here in Germany, which is one of the most modern of its time. We just finished our Series A investment round, and next year, end of the year, there will be the Series B investment round. If you are interested, then also just contact us. We won a couple of awards since then with the technology, with our mission also to deliver medical supplies to rural areas and supporting locals there. one I mentioned already is the Guinness World Record book, but we also, for example, had the Lake Kivu Challenge, where we afterwards managed to work together with UNICEF. Here again, a few faces. These are our founders, Tom, Jonathan, and Ansgar. That time, Tom was ranked Forbes 30 under 30, all three kind of combine different skills. It's the engineering of Jonathan. Tom Plummer is more into the media and sales and business development, and Ansgar, who's really well from the business side equipped. We have also a good management team with lots of experiences, which is supporting our company, our mission, and our CEOs in accomplishing the mission of becoming the world's best delivery firm. Yeah, so what do? We create efficient and sustainable drone solutions to improve and save lives everywhere. We are very human-centered. And for example, we don't work with military. We really look into the trust of the people to, in the end, deliver to them, and having, the full trust and a customer-centric view on things. So if you're interested, you can contact me right away. You see my email address to the bottom left, or you visit our website first, follow our YouTube channel, where you can see more videos about our drone flying, or you simply follow us on LinkedIn, because we want to deliver the future together with you. So let us know. Thanks.
Thank you very much. So let's move on to the Q&A session. And any questions, Daniel?
Yes, we have a question about legal issues. Is the mobility legal in most countries, or only possible to be used for test use? And also the second question refers to that. Japan is very cautious with drone permits. So how do you deal with these issues?
Okay, thanks a lot. So about the regulatory side. So yes, you are right. Globally, there are a few countries already allowing BVLOS, so beyond visual line of sight flights. Most of the countries globally rather allow VLOS, so visual line of sight flight yet. But it is developing and coming. So it is kind of a progress to also develop the regulatory infrastructure together in the countries. And this maybe already answers the environment of Japan. We had this one project already, or this customer over there, but start also next year with another partner. And for that purpose, we are working closely with the customer together in order to match and meet the regulations, but also for sure develop them into a safe, reliable direction, though in one where we can go into modern mobility environments.
All right, excellent. Let's move on to the next page. Thank you very much, Isabel.
Thank you.
Thank you. So please do not forget to vote for the previous session, pitch, and then of course for the next page as well. All right. So next up is Control from Austria. Andres Loringa will pitch. So Andres, please start whenever you are ready.
Yes, so I hope you can hear me well. I couldn't have had a better intro than the one from Isabel. So exactly, the legal issues is the one that Control does. Actually, we were founded because of exactly the problem that was described just now. It was on an airfield, and it was with a drone attempting to fly BVLOS. So thanks a lot for that. So basically, I think it just ties into what we discussed before. If you have complex autonomous system like drones, trucks, and vehicles, you have to be compliant to rules in 195 countries roughly, which gives a total of 36 million rules that various systems have to comply to with a car. With a drone, it's a little bit less, significantly less actually. So that is good because I guess that will give us a better chance to have drones faster than fully autonomous cars. So basically, as I mentioned, Control was founded on an airfield with an authority and attempt to fly BVLOS. In Austria, this is a little bit more strict than in Germany. And basically, the authority said trust is good, but compliance is better. So show us first compliance to existing regulations, and then we let you fly. And that was 3 years ago. And this is why we founded Control, to mathematically prove and formally verify that a system in the air, on the ground, or on the street follows exactly those rules. So currently, when you look at a system, like for instance, the current S-Class from Daimler, you have 30 million lines of code, which is quite a lot. And then you have a human inspecting this and seeing it's okay, does it comply to the regulations? And that is something where also a partner of us, Finland, has serious challenges. And that's why they are working with us, because this is very hard to certify. Also, when you take in consideration updates over the air, etc., then basically you have a system that has been produced and has been brought onto the streets, but then gets updated. And how do you ensure that? And basically that's a solution that we offer. So we have developed a co-pilot to basically transfers written language, be it legal, be it specification, into machine code that also human and the computer can read, creating a lot of transparency. Ultimately, we don't use AI, we use mathematical proofs and mathematics to show really this was the legislation and this is what the system does. So in the end, this is the way to certify complex systems, be it now in the air or on the ground. And we have been starting to collaborate and also work with and have customers in the tier 1 industry, automotive, as well as in aviation. So basically, we call our product the watchdog, right? So he safeguards the system. We don't fly better, we don't drive better, but we protect your IP so that the complex algorithms, I'm sure that, for instance, like Wingcopter has, are not prone to inspection or need to make public to see if everything works, because there have been announcements, for instance, from regulators that they would really like to see how things work. So we make basically a transparency layer that exactly shows that systems are compliant and that they can be certified according to SORA, VP29 for vehicles, etc. We have customers in the last mile vehicle area, eVTOL. Actually, insurances are also very interested, because we derive KPIs based on legal requirements and specifications, so they can always see how good does a system fit into the surrounding. Also in the automotive, we have been growing very strong despite COVID, because obviously there is a large need to bring systems into the market. Last but not least, this is also important for society, because as mentioned before, we want to know, does a system follow the same rules as we do? So here is some things that we have been doing in this last year. It was very hard to sort of say get out and have events, but nevertheless, we had a demonstration also with customers in a car. And here is actually a company that does power line inspection. And we could install our system on it to make it actually more safe and compliant. We're also planning a truck demo in the next coming months. That depends a little bit on how Corona is affecting us and how the lockdown goes. About the team, so we are basically veterans, myself from the automotive industry, Michael from the aviation industry. He was the first one who fly autonomous from Austria to Switzerland. Has been part of the DARPA challenge. Our advisory team stems partially from Stanford and other renowned universities. And we have a team that has been working in this field for quite some time. And so that gives us this strong backing that we develop something that is really safe, but also ensures the compliance to the legislation, because this is the key. Adding to that, we also can give basically a government or an institution information where exactly, for instance, legislation needs to be changed, because this is also one of the challenges we face. Not everything can be implemented. A lot of things have to be adjusted. So basically, this is Control. And yeah, looking forward to your question. And I hope I made it in time.
Yes, perfect. You made it in time. And any questions?
Maybe you You can wait a few seconds. For now, there's nothing.
All right. So maybe any questions here from the venue? Seems like it was too impressive. Yeah.
Well, Isabel, I hope we touch base afterwards because I think there is something that we could do together.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, please make a note, like his contact or company's contact if you. Oh, this seems like, yes, please, Daniel.
Now we have typical laws are ambiguous. How do you turn those to machine code?
Well, that's our specialty, actually. So ambiguous rules are, of course, the challenge, right? We're working here with KPIs and to show basically that something was state of the art. From the legal language, we derive, so to say, a geometric solution of this rule set, and then say what are the parameters, right? There is something that we like to say: there is no safe. You can't prove safety, but you can show what's state of the art. How safe can you be in which circumstances? And we can then show very clear KPIs, for instance, for how you need to drive within your lane, right? Because if you drive very much to the right, then of course, if something enters the lane from the right-hand side, it's very dangerous, right? If you drive very much to the left, you would basically have a danger from the onward traffic. And so we have developed KPIs and can tell, for instance, also for an automotive vehicle supplier or producer, how you position in your lane. That's depending on the risk, because the law here in goods part of Europe is drive as right as possible. In Japan is as far left as possible, but that's not always the good way to go in the sense of a computer, right? Because you would drive to zero.
All right, thank you, excellent. So the next up is Delta Shinji Labs from Finland. So Boris Krasi, please start whenever you're ready. I hope I'm making a right pronunciation of the name.
Yes, I'm now figuring out how to share the screen. So here we are. I hope you can see it.
Yes, we see it. No problem.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to pitch. This is Delta Signal Labs from Finland and from Germany, and me, Boris Krasi, and my colleague from Germany, Jan-Mark Reitz. And we will be presenting Pointer, a remote collaboration solution. Originally, this technology was developed as part of State Research Institute in Finland in collaboration with the European Space Agency. To support the European astronauts maintaining Columbus module at the International Space Station. You can imagine that voice communication is very challenging. There's no up and down in space, left and right, and having a visual channel and then the augmented instructions on top of that is absolutely essential. Jack, open that wire, change that valve. Our know-how is a unique XRTC communication protocol, which is running entirely on TCP stack, unlike any other voice and video solution. For example, it's different from what we have now, Zoom. And the purpose of our protocol is to serve the most secure security critical requirements in voice and video in industry. When we founded the company 7 years ago, we decided to apply this technology in the most challenging applications on planet Earth. For example, if a vessel loses steering in the middle of the sea, it's a life and death situation, especially if the sea is rough and the crews are small and they don't have all the capability and knowledge to fix every problem on a very complex vessel. So what you can do, you can connect to the vessel through whatever channel, communication channel they have. Typically, it's a narrow band satellite connection, so that you can see the situation on board. You can provide the instructions with augmented reality, so that the crew can fix the vessel and save their life and save our nature from catastrophes. And not only can you fix the critical and the most urgent problems in industry, but In more regular cases, we have machine building customers who have increased the remote fixed rate from 48% to 78%. It means that previously, before using video remote collaboration with augmented reality, the remote fixed rate, the proportion of the cases they were able to handle without traveling to the site, it was just 50%. So half of the cases they had to go to the field. And then once they fully deployed remote collaboration, the remote fixed rate increased so much that only in 1/5 of the cases the travel was still required. So it saves you loads of money. And nowadays, with the lockdowns and travel restrictions, the applications are really limitless. Remote support of your own engineers and the engineers of your customers, remote factory acceptance, remote training, remote quality assurance, remote technical sales, just name it. And our unique selling points are security, reliability, and scalability, meaning that it's suitable for most critical applications, for example, supporting and fixing power plants where security requirements are such that no other video remote collaboration solution would be even allowed. Reliability works in every network condition on every device, and then scalable. We can deploy our system within days to thousands of people around the world. And with these unique selling points, we go to market in the areas where it actually matters: energy, especially the renewables, maritime, green transportation, and the machinery business at large. We are trusted by world's biggest companies. We have customers such as Ford and Mercedes-Benz, Schneider Electric, a major electrical automation company. To tell you about the level of security, we have one company that produces machines for money printing and securities, Sizer. Said we founded 7 years ago. We have offices in Tampere, Finland, and Hamburg, Germany, and also a network of international resellers covering Latin America, Russia, and since very recently also Japan. We are raising round A. We're looking for VC and CVC investors. Please follow up if you are curious. And at the same time as we're entering the Japanese market together with our reseller, with our partner, we're also looking for customers and strategic customers. And let me finish here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Oh, so let's move on to the Q&A. Any questions, Daniel?
Yes, there's a technical questions. You mentioned that you use IMASAT low band communication with vessels. How do you still use VR on those?
We use AR, so it's a layer of video, and of course we have special arrangements to fit into the bad bandwidth. It's not only the bandwidth; it is also huge latency and also disconnections. And on top of that, it's a layer of augmented instructions, which is actually very slim.
All right, excellent. So that's it for the first part of startup pitch session. So from now on, we're going to have a little bit of break, about 10 minutes, and then we're going to restart at 5:10. All right. And then from 5:10, we're going to have another panel discussion, exciting panel discussion, inviting Luca as a moderator again. All right. So I'll see you again. So please do not forget. But before that, please do not forget to vote for the pitch. OK. All right. So we'll see you again in 10 minutes. All right. Thank you. Welcome back. Let's restart the event again. All right, so the next up is a panel discussion, the second panel discussion. The title is Europe and Japan as Space for Tech Startups and Innovation. And then the moderator will be again Luca from EU Japan Technology Transfer Help Desk. So I'll pass it over to you, Luca, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, it's always me. For those that were not present earlier, my name is Lucas Kofi. I'm from the EU Japan Center for Industrial Cooperation, where I run the Technology Transfer Help Desk, which is a service connecting academia, research institutions with large organizations and startups. Very happy to be with you today, physically here at Venture Cafe CIC, and also I'm happy to see and talk to all the people that are online. We have two panelists today that are here with me physically and two that are online. So one is Dominik Varaneshitz. Dominik, very nice to see you. Please take your seat. And then we have Tak Umezawa, ET Kearney and CIC, so he's our host actually. And Dominik is from the Austrian Business Agency. And then we have online Mr. Klaus Karte, Southeast Asia Program CEO of the German Accelerator, and Glenn Gassen, Director of Innovation, Growth, and Invest in Services of Enter Oi. Sorry if my pronunciation is not perfect. But I would like to start with you here. So maybe with Tak-san and maybe a very short self-introduction, and also you can tell us what is the target group of companies that you support, the value proposition, these kind of basic things.
Hi. Well, thank you for inviting me here. I am the chairperson of CIC Tokyo, and CIC, this facility was just launched about 2 months ago. It is a part of the global network, Cambridge Innovation Center. It has similar, really large-scale city center facilities like CIC Tokyo in 9 cities in the States and in Europe, and here in Tokyo. Tokyo is the first entry point for CIC into Asia.
Thank you, Dominik.
Hello, also from my side. My name is Dominik. I'm the Japan representative of ABA, which is the Austrian Business Agency. We are a governmental organization which was established for solely supporting and providing consulting services to international companies that would like to establish a business in Austria, which would like to invest in Austria. So we were founded in 1982 and have supported and engaged in over 4,000 projects so far. And on a year basis, we support approximately 300 international companies which would like to locate to Austria. And I'm the person in charge here in Japan. And to describe a little bit our services, so we do not have any limitations in terms of size of company or the amount invested. So we are here to support also small companies and cover all stages from making a business plan to establish the business in Austria as well, and even beyond that. So we also support companies after the business had been established as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominic. Definitely get back to this after during the panel after the introduction. I don't know if online we have Glenn.
Hi.
Hey, hi. Hi, Glenn. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Good afternoon to Tokyo. Here it is, still morning. Yeah, my name is Glenn Gassen. I work as Director for Innovation, Growth and Invest in at Enter Espoo. We are a city-owned company, and we have foreign companies and investors to engage with the Finnish innovation ecosystem. We are based in Finland's leading innovation hub, which is 30 minutes from the airport. You can call it the Silicon Valley of Finland. And on a daily basis, we work with international companies and investors.
Perfect. Thank you. I don't know if you also have Klaus, maybe online.
Yes. Hi. Good afternoon or good evening. Good evening to Japan. Good morning to Finland and Germany. Great to be here. So my name is Klaus. I'm the CEO of a company called German Entrepreneurship. So we do many things. We run programs with universities to teach entrepreneurship. We help companies work together with large multinationals or with the German Mittelstand. And we run a big program which is called German Accelerator, which you see in my background. So the German Accelerator is a government-sponsored activity from the Federal Ministry of Economics and Energy in Germany. Has been around for 9 years now. We worked with a few hundred startups across the US and Asia, and our mission is to bring suitable German startups and support them in their mission to conquer foreign markets, right? So we have offices in Silicon Valley, in New York, in Boston, Berlin, Munich, and Singapore. And in Asia, we are active from India to Japan, inclusive of Southeast Asia. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, and we are happy to have you here, or there. So starting with TAC, in your country, so I guess, of course, we're talking about Japan. Which are the organizations that are supporting, say, actors who support innovation in the connected industry space? And
the main players in the space are not probably so different from other countries in Europe, but I would say number one, startups, which provide various analytics and software type of capabilities. And number two, large companies, especially in the electricity or automotive domain. The companies like Hitachi, Toshiba, Mitsubishi, etc. And I would say number three, government. Yeah, because the government is really needed to transform various legal systems to allow new type of services in the space. And number four, innovation clusters like CIC ourselves, as well as various players like accelerators, because connected industries will not realize without really connecting various types of players, both large companies and startups. So that's I think that's the model many players in the domain here pursuing. And we really need to have trust-based information flow in the ecosystem. That is why we believe that the service like ours, CIC, is so important to provide platform for various players who come together on a regular basis and start exchanging information, in many cases critical information, and discuss new business models between these different companies.
Yeah, thank you. And I think that this, the fact of being here today among us, it's proof of that. You're representing CIC, Austria, we have Finland, Germany. I'm from EU, Japan organization. So today we're representing many countries. We're seeing that things can be done, even at the digital level. And this is a hybrid event. Of course, we will have the chance to talk, interact, and hopefully make things. So thank you for that. Dominic, innovations, technologies in the connected industry, of course, happen also when universities are working with larger organizations, open innovation practices. Do you see any kind of unique points, strength in the EU, in Austria and in the EU, of course, if you can comment.
Okay, thank you for this question. So as you said, we are here not only representatives from Austria, but also from other European countries. So it is important to look at this issue from both sides. At the one hand, from the European side, from the EU side, and also from the Austrian side, which I will talk about later. So from the from the EU side, we see already a very stable framework of support and of funding concerning collaborations between research institutions and companies. So in the EU, we have the Horizon program, for instance, which has been in place since 2014. So the current program is called Horizon 2020, which will come to an end this year. But the next program has already been confirmed and will start next year and last for 7 years as well. So this provides actually quite a solid base for cooperation between research institutions and the private companies. So I think the next program will especially focus on issues like health and digitalization, and also environmental issues, green energy and resources. So this is actually a very good starting point also from the European side, from the EU level. So what we see in Austria, which actually adds on to that, is quite a similar approach to this. In Austria, we have a organization which is called FFG. So this is the federal organization for promoting research and funding research. And so this organization actually established competence centers for excellent technologies back in 2008. And so there are two types of centers. They differentiate according to size and also according to the amount of funding that can be done. And we see that there has been a lot of activity, especially in terms of renewable energy. So we have centers that focus on this, where there is the opportunity to, enable cooperation between research institutions and companies, but also important industries like the automotive sector, which is very important for Austria as well. So there is also a center focusing on this. But on the other hand, we also see individual programs that have been established between respective research institutions and companies. For example, technical universities, for example, the Technical University of Vienna or the Technical University of Graz, which are the two biggest technical universities, also have their own programs and are cooperating with companies in Austria as well. So we see a lot of cooperations ongoing between research institutions and companies also in Austria as well.
Thank you. I want to get back to this also with other questions for the entire group of panelists after. But let's go to Glenn. And Glenn, what is the ideally the target group that usually your organization is supporting? What kind of let's say value proposition you have for these companies, and what is the kind of support you have for companies that are international, they're coming from abroad? Yes. It's the same, it's kind of different.
Yeah, so our main target groups are foreign corporates, startups, and investors. For foreign corporates, we basically offer easy and reliable access to Finnish innovation. We make it pretty simple and very concrete. For example, from Germany, we have worked with Daimler, with Beiersdorf, with Bayer. For Japanese companies, we have created the ESPO Japan Innovation Hub service, and we provide this service also in Japanese. And the value proposition, again, is to make it really easy and reliable and concrete. Because Finland is a very innovative country, that's maybe almost a no-brainer, but making it concrete, that's what we do in the end of the day. Then for foreign startups, we support them in building up their product and business development in the Finnish innovation ecosystem. So we link them to the right players. We see that they get the right support here on the ground. We have excellent accelerator programs like Aalto Startup Center, for example. We have a very good track record of foreign founders. We have just right now a Korea Startup Center program running. Then for foreign investors, well, we make it also pretty easy to find what is really interesting. And as an example, Nordic Ninja is an investor that has set up operations here 2 years ago. We have worked with them. They have invested in Finnish companies, so that's going very well. And if you ask me, well, what would be the difference between foreign and domestic players? Well, for us, we work mostly with foreign players. So for us, it's most important what foreign investors and corporates want. And then we mostly link them to the right local players, so they also benefit in the end of the day. And yeah, so we definitely offer a very target-oriented service with a good track record of of happy customers.
Thank you, Glenn. Klaus, kind of basically same questions that I posed to Dominic earlier. What do you see? What do you think is the kind of unique strength, if existing, among the countries that are represented today, or Europe, in terms of connections, facilitation, enabling of partnerships that can lead to innovations in the field of connected industry?
Yeah, I mean, number one, I think Europe in general has tremendous tech, and I have the biggest admiration for Finland because I used to work with Nokia for a large part of my life, and I've seen sort of Finnish R&D at its best, right? So there's a lot of competence in general across European countries, right? And obviously everybody in this room knows that. Where I see huge benefit in connected industries, as an example, is of course this whole application of Industry 4.0. In Germany, that's a big item for us, right? So the German government some time ago created an initiative which was called Industry 4.0, which catched up as a name, right, or catched on as a name. And it was part of a strategy basically developed in Germany a few years ago. And it was meant to basically bring the industry together. And so that was a government initiative. And then at the same time, we had an initiative which came out of industrial associations like Bitkom, VDMA, and so on. And they created Platform Industries 4.0, right? So that was an industry-only initiative. And it was basically meant to be the implementing form of this initial government activity, right? And this has proven to be very effective, I think, for Germany, and in general, I think for Europe. When you look at the activities, there's around 40 billion invested per annum in Germany in Industry 4.0 applications, and 75% of German manufacturing is basically using some sort of, you know, smart solution, which is already in this Industry 4.0 space, right? So it clearly helps, I think, competitiveness in Germany, in Europe, right? It's also an economic force, right? It obviously has a huge impact to the workforce in Europe. So I think that's probably the strongest. We see many activities there, especially automotive, machinery are clearly the largest industry sectors. And this sort of, if you want digital transformation, what this Industry 4.0 brings is affecting those industry the most at the moment, right? In general, we have a lot of industry-wide collaboration, and maybe quickly to us as an organization. So we basically are a bridge. So we help tech transfer out of research institutes like Max Planck or Fraunhofer or Helmholtz Institute. We help them basically to create startups, and then we foster these startups, and then we help these startups in their interaction with industry in Germany and outside of Germany, right? So we're quite active in that space, and at the end we run demand-driven innovation systems with industry to kind of make it applicable, right? Give startups a market and help to solve industrial problems, right? But yeah, in summary, I think the Industry 4.0 space is probably the best example in Germany. Digital health could be another one.
Thank you. Thank you. Going back, maybe I have a question for Tak, since we are here hosted at CAC. And I still remember 5-6 years ago when I moved to Japan, the ecosystem, apparently, at least what I saw, the innovation ecosystem, startups was not exactly as we used to have, like in Silicon Valley at the time, or in some cities in Europe, like Berlin. And then in 5 years, everything kind of exploded, right? And this is the very same place where we are is an example. I read an article a couple of weeks ago that says that Japan, Tokyo now is within the top 10 of the most favorable cities for startups. Innovation. This is also thanks maybe to you and to this organization. And so how since you are one of the very agents of change, how did you see, how was it so difficult to make this change happen? What did it take? What is the future that you see in this?
Yeah, we've seen a very amazing development over the past 5 years. The amount of capital invested into the ecosystem has risen significantly. We are seeing so many new corporate VCs, many acceleration programs, and finally, we CIC are here. So I think it's ripe for the real impressive growth for startups in Japan, as well as startups from overseas who have interest in working with the Japanese players, as well as maybe developing the Japanese market as the kind of one of the first key markets. Because in this market, there are a lot of very sophisticated customers, both in B2C as well as the B2B domain. So that's where we are. And CIC's mission is really to provide the community with the highest density cluster of promising startups, surrounded by various stakeholders, including large companies who have passion for open innovation, investors, and supporting professionals like lawyers and patent specialists. So that's the kind of cluster we're going to develop here as the largest, to be the largest cluster of innovation ecosystem. And we like to be truly an international hub. So we decided to assemble the team who speaks at least 2 languages, in many cases 3 languages. And we welcome a lot of non-Japanese entrepreneurs here. So we already see many non-Japanese people working here. And in the end, probably it's going to be maybe 1/4 of our clients will be non-Japanese startups. Both entrepreneurs, non-Japanese entrepreneurs who started business here, as well as teams from startups from other countries. And we also believe that the diversity is really, really important to drive innovation. So we will become the #1 cluster of both female entrepreneurs, as well as non-Japanese startups. That's our mission, and I think we're going to achieve it.
Thank you. That's great. And also reminds me of actually an event that we organized last year with the EU Japan Center on EU-Japan innovation, and it was also about female entrepreneurship. So I'm really glad to hear there. Dominic, you want to add some words about the services, especially for international companies that are interested in your organization?
Yeah, sure. So as I mentioned before, we do not differentiate in terms of size or money that is going to be invested in Austria. We support service for every company that is potentially interested in establishing a business in Austria. So what I do personally here in Japan as well is I approach Japanese companies directly and give them some lectures about what advantages Austria can offer as a business location. I will give some advices also in the fields of legal information and also tax-related information, and help them to see what could be beneficial for them. So one point that is obviously very interesting when we talk about Austria is the location in the heart of Europe, the access to almost every other country in Europe within a certain range of 2 or 3 hours at the most. Also the very good access to the CEE region, which is especially interesting for many Japanese companies that are thinking to invest in Europe in general. So yeah, we provide services all for free. And we even provide services for companies that already have representation in Austria as well. So, and at the yearly basis, it's around 300 companies that we support. And yeah, I speak also Japanese as well. And so I will be also thankful for any inquiry that we could get here in Japan as well.
Thank you, Dominic. Going back to Glenn, just a couple of words, maybe a little bit more a couple. Why a Japanese company should choose to develop a product in the connected industry space among the following options: Germany and Austria, Austria and Finland, Germany and Finland, for the co-development of a European market entry?
Yeah. Okay. So I say something about Germany and Austria. Well, first of all, Germany is a big market. That's really important. But second, it's also a very competitive market. So if you make it in Germany, you make it probably anywhere in the world. So it makes you fit for global competition. About Austria, I think that it's maybe if you want to do a smaller step first, then I think this Austria is a good choice. And also Austria is an excellent hub. Not only the DACH region, but also the Balkan region. So from Austria, you can also tap into other European markets. I think these are the first things that come to my mind. But of course, Finland is also very nice.
Thank you for being very honest. Klaus, we have really literally 1 minute. What's your take on this? Same question.
My take, I mean, Glenn said it well. I think Germany is a big market. I think it's quite open to Japanese society in general. I think we all, just like Finns also, I think we are direct, we are precise, right? We want to do the right thing. We're honest in our communication and so on. So I think there's a lot of benefit. If I look to the neighboring countries, I think maybe one has to choose what industry to develop. I think Finland has fantastic R&D in the mobility sector and many different areas, and maybe a Japanese company would have to choose, you know, where is my better home, right? I can definitely say Scandinavia in general is a very interesting place to work and interact, right, as a company. Same obviously with Austria. I mean, Austria, Germany, we are neighbors, right? We work in the same market because it's German speaking and so on. I think Austria very clearly is a gateway to the east, right, which Germany perhaps is less so. So I think it depends on the product, on the company, and then they have to make the decision. And my minute is over.
Thank you, Klaus. And I also take this second to say thank you to you and Glenn from a remote location, and to Dominic and Tak for being with me and with us today. And without further ado, I think we have to move on with the next session. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, thank you very much, all the speakers, for your insights for possible collaboration between, you know, Europe and Japan. And okay, so let's move on to the next session. So this is going to be the final session before the awarding ceremony. All right, so the next one is a pitching session. The second 6 startups will pitch out of 12. All right, but before that, we would like, as I said initially, we would like to this event to be interactive as much as possible. So I'll pass it over to you, Juan, just to explain about the voting system, how it works. All right, so please.
So hello everyone, it's me here again. So some of the guests at the venue, they weren't able to read it very clearly. So I'm passing on this QR code with bigger version so you can read it with your smartphones. I have already explained these last time, so I think you know very clearly. For the online participant, you can see it on the right side of your screen, where the poll is. And so to see all questions, you can select the bars to see 4 questions during one pitch. So now let me explain to you again how the voting works. So in total, we have 12 pitches, but right now 6 is over. So the coming up pitches is 6 And we have 6 pitch with every pitch. We have 4 questions. And when you vote, please first click on the stars to keep your ratings, and then slide the bar roll down to answer all 4 questions. In the end, press send, the green button, to submit your answers. And the very important thing about the poll is the timing. You can only have the time to vote for every pitch during the pitch. And it's about only 8 minutes for each pitch. You can still erase your answer, change your answer before the pitch time is up, but your answering time would be within this pitch. And after the pitch is over, you cannot change your answer anymore. Please pay attention to that. Thank you for your attention.
All right, thank you very much for crystal clear explanation. And so let's move on to the pitches. That's what you are waiting for. So the next up is 3Your Mind from Germany. This is enterprise software. So the presenter, if you're ready, please start anytime.
Can you hear me? Hello, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Great, perfect. Hi, my name is Camelia. I'm from 3Your Mind. Yeah, we are a software company based in Berlin. And yeah, actually, I wanted to thanks for having us, and we enjoyed the event. Actually, I also wanted to touch quickly on what Lukas Sutaslovsky said in the opening ceremony. That when we were thinking about the topic for this event, connected industries, you didn't know that the Corona crisis would occur yet, and that's correct. Actually, for us, when we were establishing our company a few years ago, as well, we didn't know about Corona. However, we already had this vision of distributed manufacturing, which would be the future of the supply chains. And this is also because of all the situations that also our previous speakers told about the supply chains, which are very fragile, which are actually very much impacted by unexpected situations, and events like called black swans. And actually, McKinsey is estimated that this kind of situations are occurring about each 4 years. And with each of these events, some market shrinks with about 5 to 10%, which actually sums up to a few billions of dollars. So it's a huge impact of this kind of events, and we believe that it's a good time, it's the right time to get really, or high time even, to get independent from these situations, get independent from fragile supply chains. And right now, actually, technology allows for that. And this is, I refer here to 3D printing, which allows for on-demand production just in time and in the spot where it's needed. And secondly, it's also thanks to the software connectivity, software which allows for sharing the file rather than shipping it around, shipping the physical part around the globe. So there are technology solutions out there which are available, and we want to just share some vision with you. How do we approach this topic? How do we support industries with our solutions? Just to move to the next slide, I just wanted to also show you maybe a little bit of a vision how 3D printing and additive manufacturing is shaping its place right now within the supply chains and digital warehousing, meaning that up to 8% of all the stock keeping units, so the parts within the warehouse, will be better business cases within the next 10 years. They will be better business cases for additive manufacturing than from conventional sourcing. And this sounds, maybe 8% doesn't sound like a big number. However, when we sum up all these parts which could be switched to production in 3D printing, it can occur that it will be about $8 million savings, like with one of our customers. So it's huge numbers. And many companies want to switch to digital warehousing and digital supply chains. However, the huge question for them is always to how to find the right parts for on-demand production. Because of course, in every warehouse, there are hundreds of thousands of parts, sometimes millions. And the big question is how to find this 8% that I mentioned quickly and effectively. And one of our customers actually came to us some time ago, and he said, okay, we work in this big organization. There are some hurdles we come across. Yeah, we work in this big organization. We have a small team of AM experts, just a few people. And we see that actually analysis of these big warehouses or this big portfolio of parts takes a lot of time. It's very manual, very time consuming. We also deal with big, diverse data sources. So we have different ERP systems, we have different data sheets and so on. And lastly, we would also like to connect with other departments, with people who work in the maintenance department, in design departments, and many others who actually can bring their knowledge to share with us to find the right use cases for additive manufacturing. And we have solutions to that. We built a module which actually helps to find right parts for additive manufacturing. We've specifically developed algorithms for that. And the analysis is done based on two perspectives, technical and economic. Also can be added sustainability factor to that, and actually helps to take data-based decisions. So we analyze big digital data sources, as well as non-digitized parts coming from just ideas from the employees across the whole organization, because they also have some knowledge about that. And through the streamlined, structured way, you can very easily find low-hanging fruits, so the parts which can bring you a huge benefit when switching to digital world and then switching to the production in 3D printing. And actually through this software you can analyze these cases and the whole portfolio 5 times faster without even increasing the headcount. So it brings a huge acceleration in this process. And actually this is just the first step. Yeah, so we said, okay, with our module, we want to find or help to the companies to find their right AM use cases. But this is just a first step in the path in a way to distributed manufacturing. Because the second step would be to create the whole digital warehouse of the parts which are suitable for on-demand production. And then lastly, you can just connect to the network of suppliers around the globe who can just produce the part locally right in the spot when it's needed. So our software actually covers all these steps and can help with the whole implementation of this vision. However, we want to make it also easier for Japanese companies to make this low-risk technology entry, because what we see, there are many printers right now. What we know, there are 28,000 industrial 3D printers in Japan. Yes. But they are still underutilized. So our goal is to help the Japanese companies also to introduce this technology of 3D printing. We also work with companies from different industries right now, from automotive, maritime, offshore, and many others. And we just invite you as well to work with us. So thank you, and arigato gozaimasu.
Arigato gozaimasu. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's move on to the Q&A session. Any questions so far? Okay, so any question from here on the site? Usually it takes some time to get some questions. So, but is there any way to reach out to you if participants are wanting to?
Of course, you're very welcome to connect with me, either via email, kd@freeyourmind.com, or just visit our website as well to learn more. And I'll be happy to speak with you. Also later at 11 or in 1 hour, I think I will be there as an avatar, so we can also connect in Tokyo, I hope, digitally.
Sounds good.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot. So, all right, seems like, you know, we can go to next. All right, the next app is Kantinel from Finland. Allow me if my pronunciation, my reading is wrong, but so yeah, please, if you're ready, please start anytime. And before that, please let me just make sure that, for the audience, please do not forget to vote for the previous session. I think it's open for now, the previous session voting. So please do that. And then don't forget to vote for the next page as well. All right. All right. Sorry about that. But if you're ready, please start anytime.
No problem. Just a second. Yes. Here we go. And I think your presentation and voicing of Kantinel was perfect. So it's quality sentinel that we call Kantinel. So I'm Henry. Thank you everybody for giving me this chance to pitch to you. And what I'm going to pitch to you is Kantinel Pace, which is a hyperscalable testing in the cloud. So enabling all of this technological innovation that we've heard about from all the other companies, and with really great pitches in here, they are all enabled by technology and the growing ecosystem around that. The problem that we're facing, which is a positive one, is the fact that over 500 million new apps will be created in the next 4 years. So there's a dramatic increase in the amount of applications being built. And what's also happening is they are being more interconnected than ever. API request amounts have skyrocketed across the whole software ecosystem. And this is also, as we heard from the first presenters in the first panel, that 5G is bringing connectivity into the factories and third parties are developing applications. So what this causes is that you cannot control the quality of your software in as nice way as before, because you are building it on top of partners, building it on top of components from other people. And really, when they update something, you also have to update something. So everybody has to go into a DevOps mode where you have to quickly test your application. You have to quickly know if it is broken and quickly deploy new solutions. Typically, testing has been a bottleneck. DevOps has developed quite much. Technologies, the right applications have developed quite much. Testing and validation and verification has been a bit left behind. But that's where we're coming in with Kantinel. How we are solving the problem is Kantinel Pace. It's a hyperscalable testing platform from the cloud. What we are doing with Kantinel Pace is threefold. One is scalability. What we offer you is a solution built on top of open source. We have built this on top of many testing libraries, and one of the main ones is Robot Framework. This is something that was built back in 2006 for Nokia by us, and then open source, and it's now taking the world by storm. It's basically everywhere. NASA has used it, and many German automotive factories are using it, and it's being used in many other places to test out the applications. We offer the community a better way to scale testing. We offer the infrastructure from the cloud and all the other devices that can be put in there, be it Android devices, be it iPhone devices, desktops, Linux, and you can even connect embedded devices and even automotive Android, for example, in our platform. And we handle the scaling for you. We handle the security for you in that platform. What we also offer you is speed. With testing, you typically have test sets to ensure that your software runs flawlessly. Those might take, in the case of big companies, for example, 3 days. We use machine learning and statistical analysis to analyze those test sets and prioritize them in such a way that the developers get immediate feedback on their work, so that you know which tests run first, which are the most likely to fail. We run those first. Also, we can do cherry picking from the testing to really figure out which are the most important ones and run only those. So optimizing your process from 3 days to a couple of days, really improving to a couple of hours, really improving the feedback. Also, we do predictability. Because we have all of this data from all of your tests, we can actually predict the quality of your software or your release even before you release it. This enables product owners and others to really control the flow of development and your business processes, because you know beforehand what's going to happen. We are creating the next generation automated QA without humans in the loop. Looking at the marketplace, there's traditionally a lot of manual work involved in all automation. These are big companies who are just doing manual testing for a lot of subcontractors. What we want to do is give our tool to them so that all of these manual workers become test automation experts. The current market leaders are focused on the desktop market, and their pricing model is by seat or by usage. So they are based on the one tester, one desktop, one application model. We are taking that model to the cloud. Another big competitor for us is open source tooling for like Selenium and Robot Framework. We are actually not competing with those tools. We are taking those tools and augmenting them. We are providing the platform for those open source tooling to run. And looking at the DevOps space and the connected cloud space where everything is connected, there are a couple of competitors in there, but we are mostly focused on the whole pipeline of getting test readable and getting them run on the cloud, not just porting an existing tool into the cloud. We offer Sentinel Pays as a SaaS subscription service. You pay by the test minute, and that's it. Clean, simple. Some of our biggest clients, initially we went for the big clients like Elisa, which is the biggest telecom operator in Finland, Metro, which is a big Finnish industrial conglomerate, Ponsse, which makes forestry tractors, Konecranes makes cranes, and Brunswick is a US naval operator. These are complex cases with complex IT infrastructure which needs constant testing. This is the combining theory in between all of these, and that's what we do. Test complex IT infrastructure and make it work. Another thing is that we're now in SAP and Salesforce exchanges, so we can test all of these systems when you have to update them, when you are moving in from the new version of SAP, for example, when they're pushing you into SAP HANA. What we've done, we launched the company in 2018, reached an ARR of 50K. In 2019, we reached an ARR of 150K, got our first US customers, as we wanted to go as far away from Finland as we could, so that we could prove the system works without intervention. And our first partners, we do not write tests, our partners do that. We offer the platform and the tooling. In 2020, we reached 1 million ARR with self-service subscription and global partners and started embedding AI into the platform. For next year, we are projecting growth at least into 2.5 million of ARR, fostering the growth of our own ecosystem and improving the AI support test maintenance in our platform. This is the core team with experience in test and AI innovation. We have Kalle, who's been working on F-Secure, and a lot of other people who've worked in the testing market for a long time and taking that expertise from that past into this new product. What we're currently looking for is an A-round investment of 5 million, and we're building that round now and we're hoping to close it in 6 months. We foresee that the testing is one of the most important businesses now, as your company is only as good as the software driving it. You can now go into pays.kentilon.com, log in, and test our platform for free. You get 60 minutes of free testing time with no strings attached for each month. So it's a recurring 60 minutes license on using the cloud platform to do all of your testing. Thank you, everybody. We believe that any business is only as good as the software driving it.
All right.
Exactly 7 minutes.
Yeah, thank you very much for the perfect timing. All right, let's move on to the Q&A session. If we have any questions so far? Ooh. Yeah, it takes some time. So any question from here? Again, it was too impressive, yeah? Yes. All right, Henry, do you have any contact that anybody can reach out to you?
My contact information is on the screen on email, and then also my phone number that you can reach from there. And I'd be happy to share as much of our experience in testing and quality control as is needed.
Perfect. Okay, we have a question. So please, Daniel.
Okay, the questions we got is, how about industrial security requirements? Can you securely serve industrial companies in Asia?
That's true. We can. We have some clients that are, for example, banks that have our software has gone through rigorous D&D processes to check out that it's working as intended. So they trust us, and I'm 100% confident that industry can also trust our software in there. As it's pretty much, cloud is quite a hostile environment. If you run something in the cloud, it has to be secure. So we've done the utmost to do that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And then, so please do not forget to vote for Sentinel. And then, all right, let's move on to the next. So the next up is Zela Robotics from Japan. So Alexander, please stand by. Yes, that's your microphone. All right, you can start anytime, whenever you're ready.
How do I start?
Sorry, hang on. We are preparing right now.
Okay. So my name is Alexander Schmitz. I'm the CTO of Zero Robotics, and Zella Robotics provides the human sense of touch to robots. So why are we working on this? There's a labor shortage in many countries, including Japan, and associated with that is a high cost of human labor. And so companies would like to fully automate their factories and warehouses. But the reality is that robots are still very clumsy creatures. There is still a lot of things that they cannot do. And the problem that we are focusing on in particular is to grasp anything like a human does, which is one of the toughest problems in robotics. And here you see, for example, the winner of the Amazon picking challenge. And they can locate the object and initially grasp it, but then it dropped the object because they can still not hold and grasp objects like a human does. And in order to solve this problem, a lot of companies focus on vision and AI. And vision and AI is very important to locate the object, but to hold an object and to securely handle it, that's not a visual problem, that's a tactile one. And there are very few companies that provide the sense of touch to robots. But the good news is we have the solution. And so we make these skin sensor patches, and they come in different sizes and shapes. And each skin sensor patch has a lot of sensors inside, and every sensor is like a small joystick. So it measures not only pressure, but also the direction of force. And so then you have a lot of information about the contact with the object, which you can use, for example, in this case, to gently grasp the business card. Don't grasp it too hard, don't grasp it too soft. And you can do this with the sense of touch. And let me go through a couple of use cases. So for example, in this case, Omron, they installed 2 of our sensor patches in the fingertips. So each sensor patch has 16 3-axis sensors, and they use this sensors for this inserting task, to insert the pack into the hole. And another one of our customers is, for example, Preferred Networks, and they use our sensors for tactile visual learning. So they associate how things feel and how they look like. And not all our customers are actually from the robotics field. So here you see a use case where they put a lot of sensors onto the human body, and then they optimize the pressure distribution of backpacks. And of course, there's competition, but other sensors, they are too big to integrate them in robot skin. They have too many cables, so they are difficult to integrate in robots. They're not durable, they're too expensive. And so overall, Zella Robotics is the only practical solution in the market. And our sensor is very robust, like you can see here. So for even when you hammer the sensor, it doesn't break. The sensor is very easy to integrate into various grippers. So for example, here I just I just removed the protective layer from the adhesive tape, put it onto the gripper, and afterwards I stick the cable into the microcontroller, and that's all I need to do in order to start collecting tactile data. And you can integrate the sensors not only in grippers, but also, for example, robot hands. So in this case, it's the Allegro hand, and one finger of the Allegro hand has 72 3-axis sensors. So again, every sensor measures 3 axes. The sensors are soft, and even so you have so many sensors, you need only 4 wires to collect all the tactile data. And then using all this tactile information, you can grasp objects of different size, shape, weight, hardness, different surface texture. You can grasp all these different kind of objects. And we are working now also on the tactile AI. So in this case, it's a slip detection software. So when the object starts slipping, the gripper grasps it a little bit harder to avoid the object from slipping out of the hand. And that works both for gentle slips and also for major slips. And you can also detect in advance if a grasp will be stable or unstable. So here it detects, for example, an unstable grasp, and then it regrasps the object. And with this more stable grasp, it can then transport the object. And so regarding market segments, a lot of our current customers like Honda, Omron, Nikon, Hitachi, Konica Minolta, they use our sensors for adaptive manipulation, for assembly robotics. But in the future, we also want to go into the packaging and warehouse robotics market. So you could imagine, for example, an Amazon warehouse where there are a lot of different items and you have to grasp all of them reliably from the shelf and put them in a box for shipping. And even further down the line, we want to go into service robotics. So in the past, we received grants of more than $1 million. And we started the company in August 2018, and we had $94,000 sales in the first year and $180,000 in the second year. So despite Corona, we doubled our sales. And there are some customers actually that want to buy thousands and 10,000s of sensors. So we are currently getting ready for mass production and increasing the size of the team. And we are also raising capital. So we are looking for VCs to raise $1 million. And regarding the business model, so originally it was just a sensor hardware, but in the future we will also provide the software. And so we are a startup we are a spin-off from Waseda University, and we have a lot of experience in tactile sensing hardware and tactile sensing software. So why Zella Robotics? We have 3 patents granted, 8 patents pending. We have a lot of experience in tactile sensing hardware and software. We doubled our sales despite of Corona, and we're currently getting ready for mass production. So we are looking for tech partners, customers, and investors. So I hope some of you. And yeah, our mission is robots for every task. And now this presentation is stuck. Okay, so Zella Robotics provides the human sense of touch to robots. Here's my contact information.
All right. Thank you very much. And any question that we have?
Yes, there was one question relating to the business model, I guess. Are you supplying the robot makers or the users market? Which one would you?
So our customers are currently mainly tech companies. And so because right now we sell just the skin sensor patches and they make their own software. So some of them are robot maker and some of them are end users. So both.
And maybe a very short question about the price tag.
Yes. So one 4x4 skin sensor module is Juichiman N, so $1,000 around.
All right. Thank you very much. Excellent. So please vote for Zella Robotics. And then let's move on to the next. All right. The next up is Blue Danube Robotics from Austria. Although it's coming from Austria, the presenter will pitch on site. All right. So please allow us to have some time to transition. Excuse us. All right. Seems like we are ready. So please start anytime.
Hello, my name is Masa Nakamura, representing Blue Danube Robotics, Austria. Thank you for having me here. First of all, I want you to imagine a traditional robotic industrial setup. So this might probably the picture some of you have in mind now, like robots from small to bigger sizes, surrounded by fences, like doing their tasks. So the working environment itself is a very limited one, is inflexible, and requires a lot of space. But space, especially in a production environment, is something, especially Japan, for example, very, very restricted and therefore super valuable. But with changing consumer behavior to smaller batch sizes, for example, which means customized products. For myself, I love customized football shoes because they give me the feeling that I can run faster, pass more precise, and shoot with more strength. It's just an illusion I buy, but I buy them, right? But this kind of individualized products, customized products, on the other side at the production line, give them more tasks to do. So more flexibility in the production line because the production cycles become smaller. But it's not so easy to make it like realize when you have built up all around fences, right? So there is more demand for more flexibility and also cost saving cost savings in production environment, because you cannot always spend the time and the cost to get rid of the fences and build them up, down and up again. You also see this demand with popping up collaborative robotics companies who bring their small-sized robots on the market. And this is also a sector which is going really well. In terms of automation, even though Corona is coming, this is a topic which will not go down. It will still rise and rise. So, but you cannot just, get rid of the fences, place an operator next to it and say, okay, we are safe, everything is good, because still you have to think the robot, it's a metallic thing. When it hits you, it can really lead to heavy injuries. So safety is something which is mandatory, and it's often mandatory by law. And this is exactly the point where Blue Danube Robotics with AirSkin comes into play. So we produce a safety skin, which can be mounted directly on the robot. The technology itself is very easy. So just imagine a balloon with a sensor, right? Mounted on the robot. The robot collides with you, the pressure inside the balloon goes up. And this change of pressure then triggers the robot to stop. The picture says more than 1,000 words. These are like models we have already designed, we are selling already. Some of them, like Denso Wave or Mitsubishi, are the ones which are well known also in the Japanese market. But since we are a European company, we have like very good relations with European robot manufacturers such as Stäubli. KUKA used to be a European one, and so on. So why do our customers buy AirSkin? Because they want to get rid of fences. They want to have collaborative robotics, like robots and humans working together. Because they don't have enough space, they want to use space for other robots to make like more productive, more sophisticated tasks probably. But then, if you remove the fence, the risk of collision rises. And if you want to like minimize the risk for injuries, you have to slow down the speed of the robot. But why do you actually install a robot? Because you want to have repetitive things done with high productivity. So at this point, it doesn't make sense to have the robot without fence, right? If there is no productivity. Plus, there's also high demand for safety. So our solution can be directly mounted on the robot, and also can be mounted on the tool. And is a solution which, because of its softness, can make the robot move faster even without fence. So you have a fenceless plus productive robotic application. And our product is safety certified and has also an international patent. We even have a specific one for China. I know it's not gonna make sense so much. So who is working behind this product? It's Blue Danube Robotics. We are headquartered in Vienna, already in our 8th year, currently having a lot of customers more in like electronics and automotive sector, like Magna, Continental, Schaeffler. Because like automotive sector is the one which is the most automated one. So why we are here in Japan? The one thing is 2 approaches to enter the market. Like we want to have a good relation with Japanese robot manufacturers as well, such as Yaskawa, Mitsubishi Denki, because we think that we can upgrade the industrial robots to fenceless robotics to collaborative robots, which means they don't have to put a lot of money for developing these ones. We have our expertise to bring this. And the second reason, or the second approach, is to build up our own distribution channel in Japan. Currently, we have 2 companies with Inaba Denki Sangyo and Takebishi Corporation who are pushing our product and being on exhibitions. Thank you very much. And if you have questions, I would love to answer them.
Yes, any questions, Daniel?
The question is, so do you have something quite similar to Xilla without less, with less features? What's your price tag? And how about, that's many questions, how about regulatory environment?
Okay, Xilla Robotics is more focusing on the tooling, right? Like in between, like for gripping or, and we are more on the outside, right? So more on the robot side. This is like one thing. Price is, it's a bit difficult for me to say now the pricing. I'm very honored that you're asking, but I would love to, if you get directly in contact with me and we do this via our distribution channel in Japan, because if I tell you, okay, it's like 20% of the robot, then my partner will say, no, it's a bit more because they want, you know. So an answer, which is not an answer, I'm sorry.
Briefly at the end, can you uncage your robot once your product is installed? That's the question.
Can you remove the fence once or
immediately?
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so please vote for a Blue Danube Robotics. And then, you know, the next up is another pitching from on-site, and then Hakaru's from Japan. So Adrian, please.
Okay, thank you so much. I believe I'm the last one to pitch from Tokyo. So thank you for staying with us. And I'm very excited to introduce Hackers to you today. At Hackers, we focus on digitizing human expertise. I lead our global sales activities. And really what I want to do today is introduce our efforts to enter the European market. So first of all, who are we at Hackers? So Hackers was founded in 2014 in Kyoto, Japan. We've since grown and we have locations across Japan, both in Tokyo, in Kobe, as well as in Manila in the Philippines. We're around 70 people that are working on building tailor-made solutions for Industry 4.0. Our customer includes companies such as Mitsubishi Electric, Yanmar, Osaka Gas, and Hitachi. We're a global team, and I'm happy to say that we actually have people that speak German already. No one who speaks Finnish, so I'll try to fix that after this. What is it that we do? Well, we create lightweight and explainable AI solutions using our proprietary sparse modeling-based technology. Now, sparse modeling is an alternative to deep learning when you want to create data models with AI. What you do with sparse modeling is a little bit like the human mind understands data. When you recognize your colleagues or your family in the morning, you don't need to scan every single detail to recognize that he is he or she is she. There's some core features that define that this is your husband or wife. With sparse modeling, we do the same. We look only for the core features, and in the model creation phase, we focus on crystallizing these core features. We work both with time series and image data with sparse modeling technology, and sometimes combined. Our academic partners include Kyoto University, Tokyo University, as well as Shiga University. We have a patent here in Japan for our technology. So how do we actually use this technology? What does it lead into in real life? Well, we help our clients with things like unsafe behavior detection at construction sites, detecting if workers are using the appropriate safety gear. We help with predictive maintenance from time series data analysis. This means listening for vibrations and detecting when components are about to fail. We also work with radar data analysis, looking for objects that are submerged underground before beginning constructions. And the flagship product that I want to talk to you in detail about today is our visual inspection module for defect detection. So the visual inspection module is called Spectro. We spectate things, and we have two versions, one which is Spectro and the other one which is the core version, which is for embedding. So what is Spectro? Spectro is a tool that enables factory automation by vastly reducing the amounts of reclassification that's needed to be done by expert human inspectors. It's an AI-enabled image and time series data analysis tool. And what we can do is provide it both as a cloud module, as an on-premise installation, or even as an SDK toolkit. So what do you get with Spectro? Well, you get defect detection, scratches, or other cosmetic problems. You get missing parts and misalignment detection, and you also get pattern matching, which can be used for bad soldering work. We can combine this with analyzing vibration data from the manufacturing environment as well to give you a complete picture of all types of problems that you may have. Spectro is outperforming the conventional tools that are based on deep learning based technologies fairly significantly. In this comparison, looking at solar cell data, Spectro is using a fraction of the amount of training data that's required for conventional tools. We're looking at 60 images compared to 800, and we're still producing a better result with higher precision. The training time and the prediction time is also significantly better. But this tool is great only for visual inspections. It's also great for time series data. We can listen to vibration data that's coming out of industrial fans, as in this example, and provide results 200 times faster. And we can analyze data both in the frequency domain as well as in the time domain. I'm now going to give you two examples of the value that we've actually delivered to customers and partners here in Japan. The first one is looking at a large Japanese manufacturer of precision parts. And what we did there is looking at secondary inspection. Secondary inspection means that we're looking at components that have already been manufactured and have been flagged either as defect or not as defect, and we're going to reclassify them. And what we managed to do there was a 30% reduction in the manual reinspection needed. Another example would be working with an electronics and PCB material for a Japanese mega tier 1. And what we did there is inspection of TCU boards, so that the telematics control units. What we managed to do there was reduce the over detection by 50%. And that's by remaining the 100% defect detection ratio that the client was asking for. So this all leads to the traction that we've had to date. We worked primarily with customers here in Japan, and we work with all of your usual suspects when it comes to technology partners such as Intel, NVIDIA, as well as Congatec. And we've been fortunate to receive quite a few awards for the work we're doing. I'm here today because I think Hackerus has the capabilities and is ready for global expansion. And our goal is to branch into the European market that we believe, similarly to the Japanese market, is characterized by highly specialized precision manufacturing that needs the type of solutions that Hackerus can deliver. In fact, as of 2 weeks back, we've started our first project in Europe, and this is with Deutsche Bahn in Germany. I'd love to add Austria and Finland to the list. Finally, if you'd like to learn more about lightweight and explainable AI solutions, or how we can help you achieve your AI goals for defect detection, error handling, and quality assurance, please reach out to me, adrian@hackerus.com, or visit our website today. Thank you so much, and I welcome any questions.
Yes. Any questions, Daniel?
There's one question so far. What is, or do you have an approach on AI collaborating with humans?
Okay, thank you for the question. So I think that's a topic which some people are afraid of, thinking that AI solutions for this type of environments is going to replace the human worker. And we believe that we can add AI tools as an additional way for human users to be productive, to be effective. The same way that we've enabled other digital solutions and gone from mechanical tools to digital tools, AI represents that next step in our development so we can increase productivity and efficiency. And that's really what we're trying to create at Hackerus, tools that allow humans to be better, not replace them. Thank you.
Good. All right, perfect. Thank you very much, Adrian. All right, so the next is actually the final pitch of the day, and then the presenter will be Lexa Texa. Sorry about that. I'm really sorry about that. But I'll pass it over to you. We are anytime ready.
Great. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we see your screen.
Perfect. Well, good morning from Berlin. Thanks for having me today. My name is Günther. I'm the co-founder of Lexatexa. We are a Berlin-based startup, and we are active in enterprise AI. More specifically, we are digitizing manufacturing and operations. And let me give you a little bit of background about enterprise AI. There's a lot of fuss about what AI can do and what AI cannot do, and what the potential is about disrupting tasks. And we've heard many presentations about that today. However, what we've seen in industry is to really get value from AI-driven and data-driven solutions, there are a number of issues that have to be addressed and solved. And what we've seen in industry is that typically your AI initiative, it comes with a pretty high complexity. We see a lack of data. And then very importantly, there's a fundamental difference between how commercial off-the-shelf software like your SAP system works versus an AI-driven system. And we see there is a lack of solution integration and the lack of scaling. So that's where Lexatexa comes in. Lexatexa provides some software and proprietary IoT devices to build and to scale enterprise scale AI applications across geographies, across departments within your global corporate. And today I would like to run you through a couple of use cases in manufacturing and operations to give you a better understanding of how that works. Before we deep dive into use cases, here are some typical use cases that we support in automotive, manufacturing, and operations. That is, for example, shop floor AI, or use cases centered around operational excellence, predictive production. These are use cases we've recently seen giving us some great traction. So here's a first use case example. That is, we digitize manufacturing for Mercedes-Benz. We support them with shop floor AI, concretely with building the S-Class and E-Class vehicles in Sindelfingen. So the problem is that you see the production line in the background, and there is a lot of data coming in from the car itself. More than 100 control units in each car, more than 6,500 features. The robotics is giving data. The test units are yielding data, and we read in this data into our software platform, and we help Mercedes-Benz to predict failures in the production line early. But most importantly, we help them to reduce the time it takes to find and analyze root causes in production. And we reduced that from, it took them typically weeks to months sometimes, and we reduced that to days. Here's a second example from utilities. We work with Salzburg AG, and they run about 30 power plants across Austria, and it's mostly hydro and gas-driven power plants. And it's if you operate large turbines and expensive equipment, you can't just shut it down to inspect it, right? So you shut it down like every 2 years or 18 months or so, but you can't just walk in and look at the equipment. So it's really important to understand the effects of operations on your equipment and have a clear understanding of the deterioration rates and the operational parameters. So we could help Salzburg AG to increase their remaining useful life of the turbines and auxiliary equipment by more than a third. And in the process, reduce operational costs and reduce capital expenditure. Here's a third example from digitizing water treatment, where we retrofit existing facilities with our proprietary sensor technology and feed this data into our software platform. And that all happens within days and not months. And here's an example of one of the sensors that we deploy. This sensor is actually capable of monitoring volatile organic compounds, VOCs, in real time. That's for the first time in real time, because typically you would have to pick up samples, send them into a laboratory, and then wait a couple of days to retrieve the results. And here's our crazy tech slide, right, to sum it all up. So Lexatexa is really all about simplifying the rollout, the development, and the scaling of AI-driven solutions. And that is not just about the AI. The focus is a lot about the AI, but really, if you want to take the benefits, you got to make sure that you integrate the supplier data, the customer systems, where we offer more than 200 connectors. You've got to integrate IoT devices and external data. You got to make sure that you understand all sorts of data, like unstructured data, take care of security and compliance. And on the delivery side, on the right-hand side, you got to integrate into customer systems again to actually derive the value. So we've seen industry recognition. We've been part of Plug and Play startup Autobahn. We've been part of the EY High-Tech XL. We've been named one of the 100 most innovative startups in Germany, and recently been to Japan with German Accelerator and Next Step to get exposure in Japan and to negotiate potential rollouts there. Our customers today are in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, the UK, and most recently we added Singapore. And we're looking to increase our traction in in Asia. So if you're ready to scale with us in Asia, we're looking for partners to scale in Japan and to adapt our use cases in Asia and in Japan. So thanks for now. Looking forward to receiving your questions.
Thank you very much. So any questions for Lexatexa?
I have a very specific question coming in. Do you consider C3 AI a competitor, or how would you differentiate yourself?
Yeah, C3 is it works in a similar domain. We feel that we differentiate in a number of aspects. For example, if you go back to the use cases I mentioned earlier, for example, for digitizing utilities, we have actually teamed up with Salzburgi to build hybrid AI physical models. So we really deep dive into that specific segment, build a solution that can then be rolled out across utilities globally, even if they have little to no data available. So we try to build and deploy very specific solutions in the AI domain, which is difficult, but that can then be scaled in that particular segment.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your pitch. And so that's it for the second part of pitching session. And the next one.
Great, thanks everybody.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. So we're gonna have a coffee break again before the awarding ceremony. So please, wait a little bit, and then we'll see you in about 10 minutes. And then it's gonna be an exciting moment of awarding ceremony. All right, so see you soon. Thank you. All right. Thank you for being patient. So now it's a wonderful and exciting moment, awarding ceremony. So for your information, we have here 3 prizes. 1, Go Austria golden tickets. 2, startup work session at 22x. And 3, half a year free office space at the CIC. So overall, oh, there's another one. Okay, there's another surprise from Finland. So we have in total 4 hours today. And we are going to announce who is going to be awarded respectively, one by one. So for the first Go Austria golden ticket, so this is, is going to be announced by Yang Ape from GIM, FFG, and then excuse me, All right, just to be precise, Ingomar for the winner. So I'll pass over to you. Maybe Jan, if you're here online, is all right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, perfect. So I think you are the one who is going to announce, and please do so.
Yeah, hello from Vienna. This is Jan Ape speaking from the Global Incubator Network's Go Austria program. I hope you can hear me. And now I can also see me there. So thanks also from my side to the organizers for setting up this wonderful conference. It's an impressive hybrid solution, I find, with very interesting discussions and of course, very great startup pitches. And I really wish I could be with you in Tokyo right now. But well, still I have the honor now to present, at least remotely, one of tonight's 4 prizes. And this is, as you already said, a golden ticket for the Jingo Austria program that will go to one of the Japanese startups you saw pitching. But before I announce the winner, let me briefly explain what this prize is about. So twice a year, the Global Incubator Network invites 10 startups from Asian hotspots to participate in a 2-week acceleration program that comes with a personal mentor, with workshops, with networking events and individual business meetings, pretty much like the Go Asia program that is, or the Go Tokyo program that is currently taking place in Tokyo. And also for the Go Austria program, JIN covers all of the costs here occurring in Vienna. So usually we have 120 applications for the program, and with the golden ticket, you can just bypass this application process and directly join one of the next programs. For example, in next spring during the Vienna Up Startup Festival here in Vienna. And by the way, if there are any other Asian startups in the room who are interested in internationalizing towards Europe, do make sure to check out the offers at our website, jin-austria.com. And the next Go Austria call will open in mid-January. So now, without further ado, I'd like to actually announce the winner of the golden ticket. And I would ask, well, I don't know who has won it because no one told me over the chat. But so I think I'll hand over to Ingomar Lochschmidt and ask him to actually hand over the ticket to the prize winner and let Ingomar say who the winner is. Ingomar.
Yeah, hello Jan, thank you for that introduction. Yeah, I've got here the golden ticket and we are just about to announce the winner, which Arnold, could you hold this a moment so that I can see who the winner is? Drums, please. The winner is Xela Robotics, Dr. Alexander Schmitz. Congratulations. Congratulations, Alex. So this is your golden ticket to Vienna. We hope you will be able to use this despite this situation which we have and which hopefully will be ending soon. So welcome home in a certain way to Austria, because you are of Austrian origin, I understand. So we're really glad that you made this prize very well deserved. Thank you.
Congratulations from our side too, and all the best from Vienna.
Okay, danke vielmals für den Preis. Ich bin natürlich, sorry. I'm very happy to be, so as you can hear from, I'm speaking German, I'm from Austria. So I'm very happy to return to Austria. I don't have so many business ties to Austria, so I'm really looking forward to also have some business ties there, make many business connections and expand to Austria. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Congratulations again. So, I mean, the magnitude of excitement is like increasing, really ever. So let's go to the second prize. So this prize is going to be announced by Mr. Takao from Dutch Messe. Here? Okay. please come to the stage, please.
So first of all, I'm not Mr. Takao. Takeo. Mr. Takeo is from JMA, Deutsche Messe partner here in Japan. And Deutsche Messe and JMA are actually the sponsors for a booth at 22X in Germany. And I'm very glad that Mr. Takeo is here with us, so he can be the one in handing over, let's say, the first of all, paper-based physical prize to the next winner startup. Thank you very much. So I would like to invite you now to the stage and to take over and to hand over the prize, maybe also explaining a little bit about 22X.
Thank you for your time. So my name is Masahito Takeo. I belong to the Japan Management Association, but the Deutsche Messe based on Hanover. This company is one of the biggest exhibition organizer in the world. And this Deutsche Messe tie up with our association, Japan Management Association, 5 years ago. And since 2015, so I am the representative of the Deutsche Messe in Japan. The Deutsche Messe, the most of the biggest event is Hanover Messe, but unfortunately, it's this year canceled, and the next year also maybe we can the Hanover Messe will take place, but maybe will be the hybrid event like this one. But the Hanover Messe is completely for the event for the manufacturing and the industry. So it is a little different from this startup field. So this time Deutsche Messe prepared this the event named the 22X. So this event is very, very new event for Deutsche Messe as well. Last year, this event was launched, but unfortunately, because of the COVID-19, last year, this event also canceled last March. No, not last year, this year. So, and the next year, so this event will be held by the digital event like this event. So, Deutsche Messe happy to invite this show to the winner. Yeah. So you're.
I am not Japanese, but the company is, yes.
Oh, so your base is Japan.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe so this event is very good. The platform to enter European market and German market again. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's exactly what we're looking for, an opportunity to enter the German market. So this will be an excellent addition to that. Thank you so much.
This is the kind of the invitation. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the second prize was awarded to Hakaru's from Japan. Okay, so not last, but not least, even it's not the right word. So the third prize, let's go to the third prize. So this prize will be presented by Masaru Nagura, the director of CIC Tokyo. So please come to the side, come to the stage. All right, so please explain about, maybe you want to explain about prize itself, all right? Yep. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, TechBIZKON, to have this great conference here at CIC Tokyo. All of you in this room maybe know about CIC Tokyo a little bit, but CIC Tokyo is a newly opened innovation center on October 1st, and this is the largest innovation center in Japan. We can accommodate like 200 or 300 startups here, and we have 160 private rooms. That is the largest facility in Japan. And we are having various types of the players related to innovation. I mean, not only startups, but large companies, investors, and some international organization. So we are having all the necessary stakeholders for the innovation here in CIC Tokyo. And this prize is a co-working space pass for half year. So the winner will have the privilege to use this space for half year. And I hope that using this opportunity, that winner will have more business in Japan and have more growth, and then eventually have large space in CIC Tokyo. So, okay, let me announce the winner. So drum roll, please. The winner is Pre-Wave. It's here?
Maybe
online.
Online. Congratulations, Pre-Wave. Are you there?
You. Yes, we're here. Can you hear me?
Can I see your face? Oh, Pre-Wave, congratulations.
Hi.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So, are you able to come to Tokyo and use the space?
Yeah, we have to see, but we will consider it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, looking forward to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Maybe you want to have some comment? No, Harold?
Yeah, we very much appreciate the prize, and thank you very much. It means a lot to us, and we will reach out to you to discuss how we can join your incubator.
Cool. Thank you. Congratulations.
Okay. Again, congratulations to Pre-Wave. And then let's move on to the final prize of the event. And that's coming from Finland. So I'll pass over to you, Pekka.
Thanks very much. So this prize was actually chosen by TPO representatives Ingo and Lucas and myself. This is very subjective, but we all agreed. This is for the most passionate presentation today. And the winner is Blue Danube Robotics and Mr. Nakamura. Congratulations. And well, if you keep this, I'll explain a little bit what is inside. We had, well, those of you who were present last year, you remember that we had gin with blueberries from Finnish forest, Arctic Blue gin. We keep in the same line. Again, you know, Finland is not famous for its wines, but some other products. And this time there's a little bit twist in this product as well. It says in Finnish, pantu olueksi ja tislattu viinaksi, which means that somebody was trying to make beer, but actually what came out was vodka. So Nakamura-san, I hope you like.
Thank you very much.
This is very unique. It's called Fiskars, which actually happens to be also inside your box. There's a glassware made by Iittala, which is also owner of it. The brand is Fiskars Group. They are not the same company, but they're coming from the same village. So one company is globally very well known for Iittala, Royal Copenhagen, and some other brands. And hopefully you will enjoy the flower vase as well. And then please take with some other Fiskars product from a small brewery from the same village. So hope you enjoy this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations to everybody. As Pekka just mentioned, now the criteria for his prize, the most passionate. this was question number 4, the most passionate of all the pitches here. I think we should repeat now, because it was maybe not clear for everybody what the criteria were for the other prizes. So the half-a-year free office space at CIC was awarded, according to what you all voted online and offline, was awarded to the best overall pitch score of today. So Pre-Wave had the best overall pitch score according to your votes. The ticket for 22X was for the best startup in the category creative, innovative products and services. So this was Hackeros. Okay, you were voted by all the participants here today to have the most creative and innovative product and service. And the golden ticket for Go Austria was awarded to the best score in the question, can this startup address the market in the EU and Japan successfully? So congratulations again to you, Alex Schmidt. You were voted by all participants, and I think with quite some margin to the runner-up. But all were very good, I have to say. But it was a substantial margin that you can address the market in the EU and Japan successfully. So these were the criteria. And so for everybody to have this clear. Before I hand over back to you, Rio, let me just mention that in the networking reception, which we will have here now, unfortunately for you who are participating from other countries or not on site here, you will not be able to join in with a nice German and Austrian wine and Red Bull and the snacks and sandwiches which we have here, but you can participate also with via the cameras, which I understand will still be out, so you can still sort of participate a bit. But for all of you who are present here today and want to talk to our startups, which are not present, which are mostly in Austria and in Germany. So for the Austrian and for the German startups, understand you can talk to them actually, because we have some avatars here. So we have some robots outside. You can talk to our startups. Those startups, the Austrian startups, those who pitched here today, and also 3 more startups who did not pitch today, but you'll find them in our catalog of Go Tokyo. This is our program right here. So altogether 6 Austrian startups, and I think there is also 1 German startup. 3. Yeah, so all 3 of them, all 3 pitching startups will be at the avatar which you will find outside. Okay, thank you. Sorry for taking over here this role.
No problem at all. And then I think I have nothing to share anymore. But thank you very much for all. Okay, well, here is the avatar he just mentioned. Maybe.
And here comes one of our avatars already.
Hi. Ooh. Can you turn around a little bit?
So
maybe?
would you like to say hello to everybody?
Hello, this is Edmund from Vienna, Austria, the famous city of Mozart. So I'm looking forward to talk to you and have some interaction.
Okay, so from our avatars, oh, well, already bowing. Great, thank you. You will see next to the avatars, you will see a QR code. Please scan this QR code. This is their business card, and your own business card, please drop it in here. Okay, thank you. And thank you, Edmund. You join us now for a glass of wine outside.
All right. So again, thank you so much all. And I think that's it's a time for us to adjourn anyway the session. But as he said, the networking session is still will continue. Okay. So even those people who are online, you can grasp an atmosphere of the networking area to the because like we still keep on the streaming out the you know, yeah, streaming out. So you can have a grasp of the atmosphere. So I think that's it. So everybody, please enjoy for the rest of the night. Maybe at here, CIC Tokyo, and maybe at your place. Thank you.